Hello and welcome to episode 19 of Your Average Critics. I'm here with Joe, Chris and Ollie. No Glenn today because he's out camping or something.
He's glamping.
Glenn's out, Glenn out, Glenn out.
To be fair, yeah. We're voting Glenn out after this. But before we get into all the film and TV stuff, does anyone want to share their week with us?
Any news?
Anything good?
Well, yeah, go on, Joe.
I broke my rib.
Did you?
Yeah, up here.
How?
I fell over.
Do what?
Working.
Oh my days.
You're such a mess,
Broke my
mate.
rib.
Did you have to go to hospital?
Yeah.
They can't do anything about it, can
No.
So
I just got arrested.
you have to go. Do you still have to go to work?
Yeah, but I'm in the office,
Oh, that's
so I'm not lifting nothing. But yeah, that's my week.
Fair
Was
enough.
it painful or?
Yeah, it fucking kills.
Did you know straight away once you'd done something? When you
It really hurt.
Could you
but-
hear
Yeah,
like a click?
Yeah, but I had to go to the hospital to confirm it. And when I sneeze, it feels like I'm about to die.
It's like I
It's
think
the
I
worst
cracked
pain.
mine there when someone elbowed me playing football.
Bless you.
Thank you.
It's the worst
That's
pain
sweet,
you ever feel in your life.
Yours is a lot worse if you've broken it.
The worst ever. I'm not sure.
Listen,
I'm not sure.
it almost dropped me to the floor. When I sneeze, it almost drops me to the floor.
I'm gonna get some pepper now to make me sneeze just for lols.
What about when you laugh? Does that?
It used to, but it's not anymore.
No, that's
Not
okay.
anymore.
How long ago did you do
I was gonna
this?
say.
He's just gonna be laughing
On
and in
Saturday.
pain.
On Saturday. Okay.
That's been a week.
So yeah, it's been a week.
Fair enough.
And so that's why you couldn't make the podcast, right?
Yeah, inverted commas.
Yeah.
I was reading.
We didn't do a
goals, didn't it?
We didn't do a podcast.
So why didn't come goals?
That's why I didn't come goals.
Fair enough.
Well, we didn't do the podcast because you weren't here, Joe.
Oh bullshit!
We went for you.
It's never stopped you before.
Mate, Von Trout was right about you. Von Trout was right. Dead weight, mate.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna get Von Trout in.
He's not listening anymore.
Oh, okay.
Is that even joke? Mate, Joe dealt with him on
Ever
COD.
since-
Joe dealt with him on COD. He's not coming back. He's not coming back. That's how we deal with trolls on this podcast. Right.
Anyway.
Got anything else you want to share?
Well, I lost money at Ascot, but it's pretty fun, and I think we should still do it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
So is it just everyone getting pissed at horse races?
looking posh and getting pissed.
Did you see the video of the fat geezer kicking off at Ascot?
Yeah, that was the day. That was Friday. Yeah.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
hoping it was the day.
No.
Where he took his
And
shirt
he's like
off.
going like.
I think because suits are quite hard to like manoeuvre
Yeah.
in, so I think he's quite big, and I
Yeah,
think
he's
so. He
massive,
probably
though.
ripped it and then he
Suits
took it
are hard
off.
to manoeuvre in. You tell that to James Bond, mate.
Well,
That's true.
he's probably got it tailor made.
Jackie Chan
like-
in tuxedo.
Yeah, well,
That
Jackie
video's
Chan in
hilarious.
Fighting
tuxedo.
off like 60 people. That's an old school film.
That actually is.
What a place to kick off with someone, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's supposed to be like proper, nice, presentive, and posh.
But the thing is, everyone gets pissed. So it's,
Yeah,
I suppose.
yeah, it's true.
it's
yeah.
not that hard to imagine someone kicking
I
off.
suppose.
It wasn't even that expensive for stuff as well. It was like a cider was like £4-5, so average pub
It's
prices
not
and
mu-
stuff.
it's
So
not bad.
and yeah, so
Fair
there you
enough.
go. Decent.
Fair
I'd definitely recommend it to anyone who hasn't been and anyone who wants to go.
But we do not condemn.
We do not condone gambling. Just spectating of sports. Although if you don't like horse
Even though
riding.
everyone at this table does bets.
Uh,
You bet.
Whoa!
You have bet.
Whoa!
Come on.
That's
Don't.
that's haram, mate. Oh, happy Eid, by the way, to all the if any Muslims listen to our podcast, Eid Mubarak and all that. Yeah, they've done their fasting, 40 days and all that stuff. So
Oh yeah, they did. It's,
Yeah.
it's finished now, isn't it?
yeah, good for them. Finished yesterday, I think, or maybe this morning. I'm not sure. But yeah,
I think it's Sunday today, isn't it?
yeah,
Yeah.
happy Eid. Yeah. Anything
Cool.
else we got to chat about this week? No?
Don't know. Any film news?
Is there any film news? Anyone got any?
Right,
any
so I got film news, I believe, about Spider-Man and Venom actually being part of the same universe. I know we spoke about
We're
this
getting really hyped
previously.
about Venom, aren't we?
and
We talked about it a lot.
I believe before we were saying it wasn't going to be part of the same universe, but I believe Tom Holland came out saying saying that he would be part of the same universe, and Catwoman, no, not Catwoman.
No, does that mean the Avengers are going to be in it?
Not
No,
necessarily,
no,
no,
come
because they're
on.
gonna make like a. I think they want to make a villain verse, which is like R-rated films.
I
And-
do a symbiote film.
Yeah, apparently Carnage is planned to be part of it, and apparently Black Cat and I think they've just spelled it wrong. Amy Pascal confirms Black Cat and Venom movie will pass in 2018.
2018.
Yeah, so a whole bundle of films are apparently planned by Sony and Marvel. I think she was actually meant to say Venom rather than Venom, but and Kevin.
Accent.
Yeah,
She's
and
Venom.
I think Kevin Fring is doing it as well.
But he's done pretty much all the films.
Yeah, I think he's the collective man behind
He's
it
the
all.
producer
Yeah,
of it all, yeah.
so he directs what everything happens. So yeah, I think that might be quite interesting. I don't know your
Any
thoughts on
idea
it.
who we think should play Venom?
Well, we
Or-
know,
It's
don't
Tom
we?
Hardy,
Tom
isn't it?
Hardy.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy. Oh, yeah, shit, yeah, it is, isn't it?
But-
When's that coming out?
2018, I believe.
Oh, okay.
And then who's going to play Carnage? Because that's the offspring almost of Venom. It's like
I've got to say, Joe's got a little bit of a Tom Hardy going on right now with her hair back and
that is a compliment, mate.
Yeah,
Because
I
the
know.
ladies
Face
love
going.
that man.
Yeah.
The ladies love Joe.
What do you mean?
I prefer when you've got curtains, mate. I'm not gonna lie. When he's been playing for about 45 minutes of goals and the hair just starts to seep down,
Yeah.
he's getting the curtains going. That's what I like.
So
Anyway.
natural.
Curtains.
Yeah.
Natural curtains.
But anyway, so who is Tom Hardy playing? Is he
Venom.
Eddie Brock?
Eddie Brock, yeah.
Right. But isn't Flash Thompson Venom as well in some of the comics?
You know, yeah, I don't know that in depth, but I do know Venom does attach itself to a fair few people.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because I'm wondering whether they might make a surprise appearance of Venom in Homecoming.
Well, maybe Tom Hardy's a surprise. Maybe he'll be like a very tiny cameo.
Yeah, end credits scene.
maybe.
Because
Although
he's a big time actor to be I don't know, big time actor to be superheroes, but he that's not really like his.
yeah,
not-
this
well,
is,
it ain't,
and
no.
the only thing I believe that I'd say he wouldn't be part of it is because I think they finished making Spider-Man Homecoming before they announced Tom Hardy was Venom. So that's the only thing I think that won't connect
Yeah,
it.
maybe.
And also, I think originally they were going to have it as just a separate universe. Although, as much as I like that, I think it's ideal to have it as the same universe
Oh, yeah.
because you have that whole collective of villains.
Yeah.
And I think it tends to be that super villain films do get a lot of attention and maybe not so good
yeah.
attention. Suicide Squad being one I say is not very good, but made a lot of money.
This is the thing. So when we're talking, sorry to interrupt you, Chris.
That's right.
When we're talking about these, like wanting to see super villain films, do we want to see super villain films or anti-hero films? Because I want to see an actual super villain film rather than anti-hero.
Yeah, it'd be
I
ni-
would quite like to see a super villain film.
yeah, it'd be nice to see why they do what they do and like the whole mental
Exactly.
part of it. Really,
Do you think though they might get quite a bit of backlash because obviously they're kind of promoting the bad behaviour that comes with a villain? So like if a villain is going out causing carnage, robbing banks,
I suppose, but that's
like,
why
if they're kind of like promoting that not in a good way, but as your lead character.
I mean, I agree with you in a sense, but that's why they make it R-rated. And then Deadpool was a kind of
He's like
hero,
an
but
anti-hero.
yeah. So, and they brought that out. And then you got films like you have gangster films, don't you, where gangsters try and take over, and they're the main front of the film. So, I mean,
even a film we're going to talk about in a minute, the main character does some shady stuff. So
yeah,
so screen unseen.
yeah.
So yeah, but so I think like it. I don't really think that matters. I think you should, because most people, I would say, you know what you're going to get into when you're going to watch a film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like when you go and see horror films and people are like gutting people like left, right, and centre, you're not going to think, oh shit. Well, some people, obviously there are people there with some sort of like maybe mental deficiencies or whatever who might think, oh, it's alright for me to go and start killing people now.
Yeah.
But there are the majority of people will realise that this isn't something I should emulate.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You're right in a sense, but like it's your parents' decision, isn't it, to see it? If it's,
And plus, a Venom film would be fucking awesome.
yeah, hopefully. Well, because they've got.
Let's not overdo it. Come
Yeah.
on.
Well,
It's jinxed it now.
my thing is that I can see him turning it into a trilogy where it's like Venom and his like story, then like Venom and Carnage, and then Venom and Anti-Venom, because it's like.
Anti-venom.
It was like.
Or like
Con-
picture a doctor just going around like
No.
with a vaccine.
He's like, it's like Venom makes an offspring of Carnage, and then Carnage and Venom make a offspring of Anti-Venom or something. I don't know. It's a lot of all this stuff mixing together. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then you never know. You could always see like Venom and taking over Spider-Man like he did in Spider-Man 3. I always thought to myself, what if Venom took over Hulk? That'd be a pretty good host, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think it does in one off
Probably. I mean, it would be.
thing comic. But I think what they'll do is they'll do a symbiote invasion, and then that'll be like after the third Avengers film.
Right. Cool.
They'll do a symbiote thing maybe
Okay.
of a symbiote invasion.
I mean, Phase 4,
Pretty cool.
maybe. You never
Yeah.
know. Like
Exactly.
they're expanding the universe quite rapidly now, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll have to see, I guess. But yeah.
Cool. So we'll move on to. So me, Chris, and Glenn, obviously Glenn's not here to discuss it, but we went to see an Odeon Screen Unseen, which I think we've explained it before, but we'll just explain it again quickly. Basically, they show you an advanced screening of a film that's going to come out in like a week or 2 weeks, and you don't know what it's going to be beforehand.
They give you a clue, though, don't
They
they?
give you 4 clues.
Yeah, but the clues are so like
Oh,
hard
mate.
to decipher.
I'm going to tell you the clues because I think I've still got them. They're mad. Honestly, every time they bring out these absolutely random clues and they expect you to
They're so hard, honestly.
go. Oh, where is it? Okay, here we go. So we have clue number 3: tiny, dark, waiting in the wings. Right. Clue 2: sooner, shorter star, surrogate shop. Political hangover. I don't think I have number 3 saved here, but
So we'll pause for a minute, and if you can figure it out, let us know. Let us know if you can figure this out. But none of us could get it. But okay, we'll give you a minute. So the film was Baby Driver. I think Edgar
Wright.
Edgar Wright,
Yeah.
directed it. I think it stars. I can't remember the geezer's name.
It's the guy. Oh no.
It begins with an A.
Yeah.
It's like quite an obscure name. I can't remember his
He's
name.
he's in that really sad film where the girl's got him and the girl got cancer, and they both.
But yeah,
well,
it's him.
spoiler. Yeah.
Kevin Spacey, Jamie Foxx, John Bernthal's in the opening is in a credit, but he's literally in one scene.
Yeah.
And he gets like an opening credit line, which is fair enough. But yeah, so this is a film about a kid young adult who basically does bank jobs like bank raids and stuff like that for a guy who he owes money because he stole from him when he was younger, and he's the driver basically of the whole operation, and it basically follows him and his crew, and like the crews kind of like change throughout the films. There's like 3 different crews, and they do 3 different jobs. And he meets a girl, and you know he wants to get out of that life, but he can't, and you know stuff happens. There's a lot of
It gets a bit real.
yeah, it gets a bit real. There's a lot of car chasing.
Real.
Yeah, it's
Does he get pregnant or something?
he doesn't know, unfortunately.
Oh,
But you know, I think we can agree that we both really enjoyed.
Yeah,
it
it was good.
I think.
Yeah.
So like, let's say, what would you like about it?
I thought it was a very like simplistic film. Like it was like from A to B, B to C, and then you like keep recycling it. I think they did really well with it. Like they honed in on the main character's like backstory on why he was the way he was, because he was a bit deaf, I think, because he had a crash when he was
tinnitus.
Yeah.
Tinnitus.
So it's like the ringing in your ears. So that's why he always plays music, and I think that's why you probably like it as well, because it's got a banging soundtrack in it.
Really good.
And he's always got different songs. Like he has like hundreds of iPods, and he listens to this one with like 14 songs on, and whenever he likes a song, he adds a new one to it. And
he kind of like times, so like he's the driver, so like while everyone else is doing the job, he stays in the car and he times like how he's going to drive and what he's going to do based on songs. Yeah. So like there was a point in the film where he was playing a song in his head and everyone was ready to get out of the car, and he's like, no, stop, I've got to start the song over again. And he's like rewound it back to the
that's in the
beginning.
trailer, isn't it?
And he's like, okay, go. And then so that's pretty cool. And I don't know if you noticed, Chris, but like there was a lot of so like while the music was going on in the background, their actions and the noises were kind of like matching the beat of the song, which I thought was pretty cool as well.
I thought it was pretty cool, but at the same time, like there's no way you could have predicted that, but it's pretty cool. Yeah.
It was alright.
But like Kevin Spacey, sick as always, mate. Was it Jamie Foxx? Was it? Yeah, he was in it. Yeah, he was good as well.
I can't remember any of the characters' names.
Don't know.
Buddy.
Yeah, they all had nicknames.
Baby
and
was the main character,
and like you didn't know their real names until like the very end and stuff.
It had I thought it had quite like a retro sort of feel to it, especially the scenes with Baby, the main character, and his love interest. Their scenes felt quite like 90s, 80s sort of like.
To be fair, I sort of got that vibe from the trailers.
Yeah, it's
it felt
very 80s diner kind of.
Very
Riverdale.
What's the word? What's the film? No, not what's the film? Dirty Dancing.
Okay.
But no, it's probably because there's a character called Baby as well. So that's probably why I'm thinking that.
Yeah, not bad shout actually.
Like
the main character's real name is Ansel Elgort.
Thank you.
Oh my god, we weren't going to remember that.
Yeah,
maybe Glenn would have done.
He's a pretty good actor, I would say. He's got singer as well. I don't know if you've seen him singing.
He's not singing bad,
But yeah, do you guys?
I was going to say about the film, like it's very dramatic as well, because like in the film, if you mess up at all, that was it. You're out.
You're really.
Yeah, you did.
So like I think it scared the driver a little bit, but not too much, because I think he knew he was safe because he owed money.
And because he was a sick driver.
Yeah, and he was a sick driver. Although Jamie Foxx didn't like him because he thought how could you be listening to music and driving us away from the thing? But yeah, it's definitely a film to watch. Definitely.
So do we know when it comes out?
I think it's out now.
I think it's just been
I think it's
released.
out now.
We only get to see it like a week or two before it comes out. So yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. There was only maybe one thing that I didn't like as much about it. So, spoiler alert, at the end, do you care? Do you care? Alright, so
Right.
they get caught at the end. Baby and the girl, Deborah, like, you think they're driving away into the sunset,
Right.
and but it's not the case because the police are like, there's like loads of police at the other end of this bridge, and the girl's driving the car at that point, and she tries to like turn the car around so they can try and get away, and he's like, stop, basically, like, no. And he was like, because like he's basically owned up to what he's done, because he kills a couple of people. So
Yeah.
Dodgy geezer.
yeah, he killed a couple of people. But the thing is, like,
He's sick at parkour, mate.
Yeah.
Just saying, I'm just throwing it out there. I don't know where it came
The
from,
kid's
but there's a
quick, man.
scene and he was
the kid's
fucking.
quick. Yeah, but he basically stops her from running away, owns up to what he's done. He goes to prison, and they do this like little montage of him, kind of like his, like flashes of him in prison and flashes of like the court case and people giving their witness testimonies and the.
This
stuff
is
like
the
that.
end of the film.
This is right at the
So you
end. Yeah.
think, is this a setting up for a
No.
potential?
No.
So so like after that bit's done, they he gets a postcard from Deborah, and it's just her like saying like how much she loves him, she's gonna wait for him, blah 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 blah. And at the same time, so he gets sentenced to was it 25 years? And then
Yeah, 5 years
to
on
serve
good.
5,
Yeah.
and so he got 25 years in prison to serve 5 of them, and then be let out on good behaviour. And I would have been happy if they just ended it then, but they then showed him like getting out of prison, assuming 5 years later, and him like getting with Deborah and then riding off into the sunset again, whatever. But like that was a nice ending, but I would have been happy if they just left it at the bit with the postcard and her saying, "I'll wait for you, I love you," blah blah blah, and then cool, done.
What if they had just ended it at the bit where they were heading off in the car just before they were about to get caught? What if it just ended?
I would have been happy with that
So,
too.
like, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been good. I think that would have been a better ending as well.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, but that aside, I thought it was a really solid film. That's probably a film that I'd watch again as well.
What would you rate it then?
Out of 10,
Rating it rewatchable.
yeah, it's definitely rewatchable. I'll say 7.5.
Yeah,
Okay.
7.5.
So a decent film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fair play.
it's a solid
Fair
film.
play.
All right, so now moving on to a not so solid film. Oh my god! So Transformers: The Last Night we saw on Friday evening, and oh my god, the least said about this film, the better. Oh, it was. I don't know if I've sweared yet in these 17 minutes we started. I'm trying so hard not to swear in this podcast because I swear I've sworn like every episode before. This film was. Oh, it was a mess.
It's
Complete
angry. It's like.
It was a mess.
Do you know what? You were only in there for
God.
about, I think, 2 hours and 10 minutes. And it
2 hours
felt.
and a half, 2 hours and a half.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I felt like I was in there for like 4.
Oh,
Honestly.
no.
Really?
I was sitting there.
Who's
and
fell asleep?
I fell asleep. I fell asleep in like a key bit as well. Like I fell
Oh,
asleep
wow.
when like Optimus Prime and Bumblebee are battling out or something, and I fell asleep for the whole bit of that.
Oh my God,
and I think that's probably one of the best bits. I don't know.
I was
missed it.
contemplating waking you up, but I was like, I
Let
wish
him-
I was in it.
Let him sleep.
Oh mate, honestly,
Oh, wow.
it was such a jump, stop, start film.
Oh.
Like no coherent, like
The editing was
The
just
editing-
no,
bang,
no,
bang,
no,
bang,
no.
bang.
Well, yeah,
The
it
editing
was.
terrible.
And like the story didn't really make
Not at all.
sense.
No
Like
sense.
you understood what they were trying to achieve. Like you knew that there was some greater threat coming, and that Earth was a key part of it, and that you needed this staff to do something.
That's
And
that's
then-
one thing that I'd say that they actually did okay is that they talked it out in
Yeah.
such a basic way that
Yeah.
anyone could understand.
Yeah.
Oh,
But this film was like,
Yeah,
it,
no,
was,
there's
it was like building a birdhouse, but you don't have anything to stick it together with. There was no glue. Like it was just loads of scenes all put together,
Yeah,
and it made sense, but it didn't make sense in the same way. Stuff was just happening. So the first hour of the film, I would say, felt like it should have been the end of a different film.
Oh really?
Yeah, because people were just there and stuff was just happening, and people had relationship. Like that little girl had relationship with Mark Wahlberg all of a sudden, and he'd known her for about 6 hours, and he was like, "Yeah, your family," and I was like, "What? You didn't even know her name?" And I was like, "Oh,
Some Fast and Furious shit there, mate.
Yeah.
No, I'll tell you what though, it was like.
oh, see, I'm
So you
sure.
had this. So you get to the first bit, and I think it was quite action packed to begin with, wasn't it? And
Yeah.
you see like it's a bit desolate. Like we don't like Transformers anymore. Where's Optimus Prime? Their enemies. Blah blah blah. And then you kind of see this, and there's this ancient old ass Transformer, like pretty much dead, and he gives Mark Wahlberg this thing, and you have no idea what this thing is because he's talking a load of freaking gibberish to him.
Yeah.
And then this thing just doesn't crop up again. It's meant to direct him somewhere, and it does absolutely nothing for him.
Yeah.
I think it blocks an attack at one point, and that is it.
So like, what was Megatron? Megatron was searching for this thing that Mark Wahlberg had, and I don't know. The assumption was that he needed it to, like, accomplish something or get something. But he also wanted this staff that controlled.
It made the
Unicron
it made Cybertron
Unicron
come into
Earth,
where Unicron was. Or
so he
something.
didn't actually. He didn't need. He didn't. The thing that Mark Wahlberg had in his arm, he didn't need it at all.
wanted
It served no purpose.
But it served but for like the first hour of the film, it was Megatron getting together a group of moron Transformers and
that didn't make sense either.
And going and chasing these people to get that stuff, to get the medallion or whatever it was, to figure out that they don't actually need it, they actually need the stuff, and he knew that in the first place. So I don't know why they spent 45 minutes getting from point A to point B when you really wanted to go to point C.
To be fair, Megatron's usually smarter than that. In other films, he's let them do it all, and then he's like swiped it at the last minute.
Yeah.
But this film, it was kind of like, so the only thing I could say what they did good, they got old characters back, which was good. Not Shia however you pronounce his last name.
There's a picture of him.
There was a picture of him.
Okay.
Not Megan Fox or the blonde bird from the third film or whatever.
Right.
They got Mark Wahlberg in. They did a few pictures of Shia. They did the guy who was like a CIA agent and he became a bit nutty. He was in it and stuff. So that was good. But I've totally forgot my point because the film was that bad.
The lead actress in it, Vivian something, she's fit.
Yeah,
she was hot, but how often do you have a 20-something model who is a history professor at Oxford?
PhD.
I'm sorry, what? It would have been better if she was just some like crazy old man,
exactly.
and then you got Mark Wahlberg, this absolute hunk. Because I felt that kind of like love story. Yes,
so
exactly.
Forced.
It was so forced.
It was like because they knew they had to have one in there.
Yeah.
I don't even think, this is what I don't get about films. There's such a generic pattern of how you got to do things.
Yeah.
And I think Glenn's the kind of same, like when he talks about things, he thinks things should be different. And I kind of agree with him. Like there's this like kind of timeline where you've got to do this thing here, this thing here, this thing here, this thing here, and if you changed it up a bit, no one would know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this film. This felt like, it's just diabolical. I'm
Did
not
you say
gonna
the
lie.
kid next to you was like, "Oh, this is gonna happen"?
Oh my god, that was so jarring. The little kid, like, fair play, yeah, he knew everything that was going to go on and everything. And he's like, "Oh, yeah, mum, that's going to happen." And I was like, "Oh, is it? Okay." Yeah, and it did happen. And I was like, "Great." Okay, don't know how he knew, but he knew. He was like, that guy's going to stop time. And it was like, oh, right, it did stop time. Right, okay, that's cool. He stopped time. Like, fucking hell. But, yeah, it was mess. It was mess.
The one thing that I would... Sorry.
No, go ahead.
The one thing that I think angers me the most out of this film is that there was a post-credit scene, which means there's going to be yet another
film,
fucking Transformers film.
I barely managed to sit through the first
For the
one.
actors.
I barely managed to sit through the first one. I sat through that. I will not go to see another Transformers.
What was in the very first?
The very first one.
See, I like the very
I didn't
first
watch
one.
2, 3 or 4.
I
I
like the first one, and I know, and I thought the second one was alright. I know a lot of comic book Transformer fans did not like any of them, but they'll still go back and watch it because they want to see if it'll improve.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the last end credit, post credit scene or whatever you call it, I don't know. What was the Transformers name like?
Unicron or Unitron something.
Yeah, and he's meant to be a big ass
Right,
thing. They didn't really explain. Do you know what annoyed me? And I think it probably didn't help the story at all. But they didn't really explain who that Prime lady was, or the lady who took control of Optimus Prime. They just said she was the life giver to Transformers, wasn't it? They didn't really give her an in-depth story, and I think the story is there's meant to be like 8 or 12 original Primes.
Well, the very first Transformers thing was the Allspark, which was supposed to give them life.
The things
so
that give life
they're
to
trying to. They're like, well, the Allspark's gone now, so now we've got to have something else that gives Transformers life.
But this is the thing. The Transformers franchise is based off of a toy. So there's no real backstory there.
Oh, no, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's based off a comic.
It's based off a toy.
Pretty sure it's based off a comic.
Maybe the toy's based off the comic.
Maybe, but I don't know.
Maybe the comic's based off the toy.
Yeah, that's right. I thought it was a toy originally, so they have no backstory.
So they're just spitballing.
So they're just fucking blurting whatever they want.
Do you reckon they have like a dartboard and they're just like launching things at it and they're like, okay, now Optimus is going to kill, throw it at the dartboard.
But this is what... So, like...
Oh, good God.
There's some proper, I'm all for, like, willing suspension of disbelief and all stuff like that. but there's some things that I just can't ignore. So, Anthony Hopkins' character, right, is a bit of a wacky old man. I'm like, cool, whatever, do your thing. So he goes to Stonehenge and he's starts shooting this gun thing at Megatron, right?
Oh, right.
And then some other Transformers and all sorts of stuff is happening behind him. So he stops shooting Megatron and just turns around, turns his back to Megatron, and Megatron kills him. And I'm just like, why would you turn your back to the evil Transformer that you're trying to attack?
That was a spoiler. Put that in right now.
Oh, sorry, that's a
Put the
spoiler.
time in right
Sorry,
now.
sorry,
Put the
sorry.
spoiler in
Two
the
Shades,
description.
Joe. It is based, but it was based on toys. But they have made a whole comic series since 1984. So
Right.
you'd think there's a backstory. And there's also
Oh,
just read there's gonna be a Transformers spin-off film
I'm not
about
watching
Bumblebee.
that. I'm not watching that.
No.
He is probably the best part of it, though.
I'm not watching that.
I would feel bad. So Mark Wahlberg, Anthony Hopkins, Anthony Hopkins especially, big time actor.
Mm.
I would feel bad being them going around having to promote this film. I'd sit there in the premiere and I would shimmy down my seat and I'd be like, what did I sign this contract? Might be a lot of
Paycheck.
money, but oh my god,
Yeah.
I've put this on the world.
Yeah.
I've mushed people's minds.
And that stupid girl from who was in the film, she's like 15 or 14, however old she was, and she like
She was smart, man.
no. She snuck onto for the final scene. She snuck onto the plane, and for what I'm almost certain she wasn't wearing a seatbelt, and that plane crash landed onto the floor, and she would have gone straight through the window. Firstly, I mean that's fair enough or whatever. Secondly, she wasn't supposed to be there, and then she was while they were all fighting and stuff like that. She was like, "Oh, I'm not sure I can do this." It's because you're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to be here. I was getting so angry.
I just remember the thing I
Silly.
forgot a minute ago.
Right.
So there's two things, yeah. So one bit in the film, they make a deal. So it was really bizarre because, yeah, mate, this is going to annoy you even more because I think this is a really annoying part. So they're against the good Transformers who are with Mark Wahlberg, and they know that Mark Wahlberg knows where to go that they assume Mark Wahlberg is going to go and get this stuff.
Right.
And they decide they're going to help Megatron because Megatron's going to be able to find Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, am I right in thinking that? So then they give Megatron, a deal. If he helps them, they'll give him Transformers.
Yeah.
So they have locked up Transformers and they give him to Megatron. What I didn't understand was they put the tracker on Mark Wahlberg to find Mark Wahlberg. So why did they need Megatron to go and find Mark Wahlberg to then find the staff?
It's about the Transformers.
But then there was a covert operation because they were on Optimus Prime's side.
Yeah.
The guy was undercover with the government as part of this Transformers destroying unit, and he was undercover because he's actually pro Optimus Prime. And I was just like, what a mess of a story.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it just sounds like the film is
It
all
was-
over
It's-
the
it
place.
is-
It was all over the shop.
I do like Michael Bay, but it is like Michael Bay in a nutshell. He likes big explosions, he likes just a manic, action-packed film.
Shit story.
Do you know what? It got a little good when it became a bit warlike. There was a bit where it became a bit warlike. It was just before I fell asleep, and they landed on this thing that was coming down to collide with Earth. I don't know, whatever. And there was a bit like war, like the men versus the machines, like shooting it out and stuff, and that was pretty good. But that's about it.
Fair enough.
So what are we rating it? Obi said this was his second least favourite.
Yeah, second-
Or the second worst.
Second worst I've seen.
I mean, it's not hard to say that really because it was pretty bad.
That
Both
film
these
sucked.
films.
So out of 10?
Ugh,
3.
4.
Low. Very low.
3, man. That film
It is by far, and I say this.
Rewatchable.
I say
Right,
this
okay.
with hand on heart, by far the worst Transformers film you'll ever see to date.
Do you reckon it's good for the demographic though? Because I mean,
It will definitely stop Transformers films for a while, I reckon. Unless, because at the moment he spent like 212 to 260 million on it, and in the first few days of box office,
You could buy a country with that.
true, he's spent, and he's got about 90 million so far, which,
Yikes.
considering how bad the other films did, he's doing all right. So if he makes his money back, he's gonna make another film.
The
Like
other
that.
film made over $1 billion, didn't it?
Yeah, what
The
4?
last one. That
Yeah.
came out,
It was alright. It wasn't bad. It wasn't good. It was meh.
Mm.
But yeah, I was saying to these guys, I definitely won't. You know me, I buy DVDs, but
Yeah.
I'll probably wait till Computer Exchange put it down to about £1 and I'll buy it.
Oh,
Just so I
don't
can-
you-
Which
don't
will
Yeah.
you-
probably be in about
Pounds,
6
mate.
months.
Yeah, just to say I've got the collection.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wanted to say that on the I think the fourth film, towards the end of the world, and I think they're fighting in Manhattan. And I'll say this out to the viewers, but my brother, I don't know if this is 100% true, because I really need to watch the film, but he says that the end of the world is on top of Trump Tower.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if anyone listening knows that, then let me know, because I don't want to put myself watching it.
Yeah.
But if that is true, then that's great. Love it.
That is
The
really
irony.
jokes.
Love the
Yeah.
irony.
All right, we'll move on.
Where's
Thank
the
God.
segue, mate?
I'm not Glenn. We have to
There's no natural
if we're
segue.
gonna move forward, I can say speaking of shit things and then move on to something else, but I can't. Anyway, we'll keep on films. Joe, you watched Fist Fight.
I did watch this fight.
What did you think of it? Because I saw the trailer for this and I thought it looked fucking terrible.
It was.
Excuse my language.
It was really.
What's
shit.
Fist
It was
Fight?
the one where the teachers fight.
Ice
with
Cube.
Oh, I
Ice Cube
spoke
and
about this before,
that
and I.
guy from
Yeah,
Horrible
it was.
Bosses.
It was
It's
shocking.
such
wasn't
a
it?
shit film.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I could tell from the trailer that film would be.
It's so. It doesn't make sense
No.
either, man.
Why is it shit?
Well, it tries to be funny, but it's not.
Yeah.
The dialogue in the film is just shit.
Mm.
The acting is pretty terrible. There was one woman in particular. Do you remember the woman from 22 Jump Street? The druggy woman.
Yeah.
That turned out to be like the evil boss lady.
Mm-hmm.
She's in this.
Oh
and
God. Oh.
She tries to be like have sexual humour in the film, but it's really bad.
And proper drugged up humour, and it's just like,
Yeah,
come on,
it's-
like real.
They try and go too overboard with the humour that they try and use, and it just doesn't work.
Right.
And the climax to the film is rubbish. They end up being friends.
I'll tell you what though,
brutal.
loads of people really like the end scene to that film, and not the end scene, but the prior to the end scene where, because his daughter's getting bullied. Right film. This is the right film, innit? And he sings a song with his daughter at the end.
No,
No?
that's
No.
something else.
Is
I know what you're thinking.
What am I
of,
thinking
though.
of?
I don't know. I don't remember the
He
name.
sings a song with his daughter. Oh, his daughter sings a song in it, and
Yeah.
she's swearing bear in it, and he's just like, "What is
Oh
happening?"
no, that is
Yeah,
that
it is in
the
this film. Yeah, basically,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
daughter's getting bullied, and then she's like got this show and tell kind of thing, and her dad's coming up on stage to sing with her. And what song
Yeah.
does she sing?
Oh, I'm thinking of a totally different
oh,
film.
right,
Sorry,
okay.
mate.
I can't remember what song she sings.
Who's the dad in the snow?
The white guy from Horrible Bosses.
They're all white, aren't they?
Ice Cube's not.
No.
No, from Horrible Bosses.
Oh right,
Oh.
sorry, yeah. Good point. You
This
make a good
one-
point. You
yeah.
make a good point there.
The one that's getting felt up by Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about now.
Basically, she swears bare. She's singing a song with bare swear words,
Yeah.
and all the class and all the
I don't
people.
give a fuck.
Yeah,
I
oh
don't
yeah,
give a
that's the
fuck.
song. Yeah. And then he's just standing there like, what's going on here? And then he just kind of just goes with it, and he's like, all right, and he starts dancing with her. So that's probably the best part of that film by
that bit was
far.
quite funny. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
because
that's-
the rest of the film was
It's
so
so
bad.
bad. Yeah.
But yeah, it's not a great film. I'd maybe give it a 4.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Very low.
I'd have to probably agree with him on that.
I will
Pretty
not be
bad.
watching that film.
Yeah,
Do
no,
not
I
watch
could
that
tell.
film.
It was terrible.
Just stick to other guys,
you know
mate.
what you
That's
have
the
got
funny
to watch
one.
though, Obi?
What's that?
Mate, you know what you
Oh, what?
Hot Rod.
Hot Rod. Do you know what? I was gonna put it on yesterday.
What happened?
But-
What stopped you?
I got so tired, just all of a sudden. I looked at the case and I was like,
Fucking life story.
"Woo!" I just went to bed, man. Sorry.
It's like, it's not a long film. I think it's
I
like
think it's
90 minutes.
it's an hour and 24 minutes. I think I was like, I can get through this. And then literally, as soon as I looked at the front cover, I was like, "Phew."
I reckon
I went to
within the first 45 seconds of watching it, you'd enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I think if you actually
I need to think.
put it on.
Once I put it on, I'll
And
watch
you
it.
play
But
it.
it's just me getting it from the case to the DVD player.
That's like me putting back in
Yeah.
Hardcore Henry and watching the other half. It is good though. It's a good
Oh,
film.
go on, Chris. Do you want to talk about Hardcore quickly?
Well, I feel like Ollie
Jesus.
should probably do the justice here as he's watched all of it.
Well, I don't want to spoil it for you.
No, it's alright. It's alright.
Well, I won't talk about the storyline because you want to watch the ending.
Yeah.
But it's a unique film that Glenn's talked about because it's filmed pretty much on what I can only assume is a GoPro.
Yeah.
So it's all like you see the hands and the feet and the actions that this guy's taking, and he's like a cyborg pretty much, been created as like a secret agent. And I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's really good actually.
It
Yeah.
is so good.
It's like because he doesn't really understand to begin with why because he's obviously lost his arm and leg to begin it, and he doesn't understand why he's lost it, and he's kind of not got his memory. So as the film's going on, he's remembering a few things, and then like I think you and Glenn were talking about last time that there's like clones everywhere, isn't there? There's like this same guy
Yeah,
that
so the
appears
guy,
everywhere.
I don't know his name.
It's the Australian guy, isn't it?
The guy who plays like the South African guy in District 9.
That's it. The South African guy in
Prawns,
that
mate.
in that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know you're
Yeah.
So he's pretty much a clone. So there's loads of him around, and I'm pretty sure they're in Russia.
Yeah.
But it's just like wherever they go, someone's trying to kill either Henry or stop him from finding out the truth.
Right.
So I mean, there's a lot of things in it that is really good for a GoPro. So like they do a lot of parkour stunts.
Yeah.
And I bet that actually a lot of it was just off the cuff, and they weren't.
Probably,
They were literally just filming from a GoPro. Because
Yeah.
there's a bit where they're chasing, like he's chasing someone, I think an assassin.
Oh
and
yeah.
he goes across a bridge, and he like goes down the escalator, and he like takes some woman out with him as well. I was cracking out at that. You would have loved that, mate.
Probably.
It's good humor. It's good humor as well. Like it's a light-hearted film, but with the obviously assassinations and
A
stuff.
lot of gore.
Yeah.
What was
yeah.
it, 15?
It's 18.
18.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Yeah.
We just have to have
Yeah. No, good. I definitely will be watching the other half. It's just been a bit bizarre.
To be fair, I've heard a lot of good things about the film from
Yeah,
like
man.
online reviews and that.
I might watch it because then we can all this week we can all talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, so I have to watch Hot Rod first. So, move on. Joe, we're going to come back to you and we're going to talk about silence. What's
Right.
silence?
So, any of you know what Silence is?
No, mate.
Nope.
So it stars Liam Neeson, Andrew Garfield, and the guy that plays Kylo Ren in the new Star Wars films.
Is this a new film?
It came out last year,
Oh, right,
I
okay.
believe. And basically it's a religious drama type film where Catholics go over to Japan to try and spread the word of God. But basically they get to Japan and in essence Japan don't like Catholics and they start killing people. But the Catholics go there, they convert the people, yeah. The Japanese come and kill them. I'm explaining this really poorly, but that's happened. Then Andrew Garfield and Kylo Ren
Do we know his real name?
no, go to Japan
I'm pretty sure he's Andy Samberg.
to try and find out what happened to the Catholics that have been killed, that have gone there already, basically. They get stuck in a village which is full of converted Catholics, but they're Catholics in secret because obviously they don't want to get killed.
Mm-hmm.
Both Andrew Garfield and Kylo Ren get captured, and then it begins a whole sort of transition into the torture scenes where they're trying to get them to apostatise, and basically this I've forgotten the word that I want to say.
For our viewers, what does apostatise mean? Do you know?
Apostatise
Is
basically
it ready for the
means,
viewers?
or is it for you, Chris?
It is also for me because I don't know what it is. But
So what I gathered is they basically I can't think of the right word, but they leave Catholicism.
Is it like an exorcism, but of religion?
Not really an exorcism. Basically what they got them to do is step on something that has the face of Christ on it. So it's basically...
so dismissing the idea
Yeah,
of Christ,
exactly.
Christianity and Christ,
yeah,
right?
pretty
Okay.
much. Then they go through all of that. And in essence, the moral of the story is that Japan couldn't really be converted, but Andrew Garfield, who dies an old man at the end, still had a little cross on him.
What, he was stuck in
basically.
Japan?
Yeah, they
Oh.
kept him there. They
Why?
didn't let him go. I don't know why, but basically, what I would say is they didn't want him to leave and bring more Catholics over to try and convert more.
Right.
Or tell
Japanese.
people that the
What is
Japanese were
happening
killing the
in
Christians.
Japan. Because basically they kept a load of... The Catholics that went over there as missionaries basically died there.
Mm.
So no one ever knew what was happening in Japan. And then Andrew Garfield and Kylo Ren were the last two Catholics to ever go to Japan to try and...
Spread the word of
as
God.
What
missionaries.
period is this set in?
That's what I was gonna ask.
This is in the 1500s, 16th
Oh, that's
century.
right then. Okay. I thought it was
Oh yeah, no, this is a
I was going to be
while
like,
ago.
yeah,
Where-
2004.
where-
No, this was a while
Did you
ago.
say Liam Neeson was in it?
Yeah.
What the hell was he doing in it?
So basically,
Looking for his daughter in Japan.
Yeah. No, I was going to say that's our goalkeeping the Christians, mate, and training them into being ninjas.
No, he was a Catholic priest that went over there, and he was basically the teacher of Andrew Garfield and Kylo Ren. So they wanted to know what happened to him because they got a letter saying that he basically apostatized, and they wanted to go over there and basically find him, see what happened, see what's going on.
So the moral of the story is...
Don't go to Japan if you're a Catholic.
Don't fuck with the Japanese.
Yeah.
Or don't try and spread your religion.
Innit?
Yeah, that's it. But
Don't force your religion on
That's
other
it,
people.
yeah, don't force your religion on people, yeah.
But yeah, I explained that really badly, but it wasn't a great
No,
film.
you did good.
It wasn't a great film.
No.
Okay, what'd you give it out of 10 then?
I would give it a 6 out of 10. It was
Okay.
above average,
Okay.
but it was very slow paced and very...
Do you appreciate the concept of the film?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a kind of film that you'd watch, Joe.
No.
If I'm honest.
Oh.
No,
To be-
I
no,
don't
to be fair-
because he's more of an action movie.
Yeah, to be fair,
I wouldn't have
It's-
watched it
it's
personally.
not a film I would normally watch, but I saw the trailers for it last year, and I did want to go see it in cinema, but never got round to it. So I thought, watch it now. Not a great film. I wouldn't watch it again. But
Live and you learn.
yeah,
Fair
what
enough.
I took from it is don't fuck with the Japanese when it comes to religion.
Don't fuck with the
Okay.
Japanese.
Speaking of not fucking with people, that's a really shit segue. Ollie, let's talk about Scarface.
Scarface. Don't fuck with Scarface. Yes, mate. So.
Don't give him a whole pile of cocaine to smash his
Say
face
hello
into.
to my little friend.
My little friend. Let me just get out here.
I've actually never watched
The
it.
DVD.
I've never seen it.
Hey, you'll love it, Joe.
I think it's one of them classics, but
Yeah.
I need to watch it. I haven't watched Godfather either.
I haven't watched Godfather.
Have you not watched Godfather?
No, I think I've got it there though. It's down. Godfather? Down there at the bottom?
Are we going to talk about it? Are you just going to look at the
I don't
DVD?
know.
Okay, so Scarface, yes, is Al Pacino plays a gangster from Cuba.
Tony Montana.
Tony.
Tony.
And it's pretty much he's a psychopath, isn't he? Psychopath, sociopath.
Absolute
From what
nutter.
I know of the film.
So he's got himself into a drug ring within Miami because they've the political refugees from Cuba because Fidel Castro's has it as a communist state.
Yeah.
So people are fleeing Cuba to Miami or just to the US.
Yeah.
So Tony Montana finds himself in a drug ring pretty quickly.
As you do.
Yeah, and he has like a little love story with the Kingpin's lady. So you're like, oh no, this
Right.
isn't a good
It's gonna-
sign. It's
not
not a
gonna
good
end well.
start. But it's pretty much him out for himself. He's trying to undermine the Kingpin. I forgot his name. Forgive me for that.
So he's trying to basically start from the bottom and get to the top.
Yeah, but exactly that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of betrayal in it, as you can imagine,
Yeah. A gangster
in
film.
the drug smuggling trade. But I really enjoyed it. It's a really old film. It's a classic that I should have seen
That's
way
it.
before this.
What era is it set in? What time?
Whenever Fidel Castro was.
60s, I think.
Yeah.
I want to
Let's
try.
go
I
with
wanna
that.
say.
Definitely, it's definitely a good film. Definitely a classic that everyone should be watching. I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people talk about it
Well,
as
not
like
everyone.
Al
It's like, what was it, like 18?
Okay. Anyone over
well,
the edge
people
of
are
it.
like, so when you think of an
The
Al
older
Pacino
generation.
movie, people are like, oh yeah, Scarface,
Yeah.
because that is like the classic. Admittedly, I found it really difficult to understand him quite
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
Yeah.
But it's not just because of the accent that he had, but it was just because the film had pretty shit sound quality.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And that's true for a lot of old movies
Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
were filmed like back in the 80s and 90s. But I really love the idea that they have these pretty much suspense. It's the long suspense, and they just have like Al Pacino's face, and you can tell like it gives you shivers when he's
Yeah.
just standing there quiet. Because like in movies, people can get angry, or like in normal conversations, and people get angry and start shouting. But it's when someone goes quiet that
That's
you're
when you
actually
know.
like, shit,
Shit's gonna go
I'm
down.
gonna get fucked right now. So that's what I liked, and I don't think there's enough of that in movies nowadays.
Yeah.
Are there any gangster films, like modern ones, that you think compared to Scarface?
Compared to Scarface,
Nah. A lot of people, like a few people rave about Gangster Squad, but that's not on the same level.
No. Well, I
Nah.
haven't seen
I
Scarface.
think Scarface.
I
is
think
on
there are a
another level.
couple. Not that I can think of off the cuff, but
What's that one with Leonardo DiCaprio in them lot? Is that a gangster film?
No, yeah, is this
What, Inception?
no,
No.
gangster one. It's the old school one, isn't it? Where
Yeah.
it's It's based on a book.
Oh, The Departed.
No,
No.
it's based on a book.
American, no. Gangs of New York. American, no, that's not it.
Yeah, Gangs of New York.
Is it Gangs
With
of
Daniel
New York?
Day-Lewis in.
No, that's not the film he's talking about though. But you are right, that is one film, but that's not. He's talking about. You're talking about the old like.
I can't remember what it's called.
And Spider-Man's in it. The old Spider-Man was in it,
What,
isn't it?
Tobey
Tobey
Maguire?
Oh, yeah, is that the one you're talking about? Where
That's
Great
Gatsby.
Gatsby.
is that
That's
what
the
you're
one I'm
talking
talking
about? Oh,
about.
right.
That's
Yeah.
not a gangster.
No,
Is that not a gangster film?
No.
Oh, you're probably right then. What you said.
Gangs of New York.
Gangs of New York.
Dunno.
No,
Well,
Actually,
people rave about it, so I'm thinking-
Departed's actually quite gangsterish, but it's more police
That's fine.
gangster.
But yeah,
kind of
there are
thing.
more
Yeah.
gangster
That's
films out
more-
there.
yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, there was like the classic "Say hello to my little friend"
Yeah,
scene, and I was
yeah.
like, "Yes, loving it."
Just
That's,
waiting for
that's
that.
what makes it a classic. That everyone can quote the film,
Yeah,
even if you haven't seen it.
yeah. Well,
You
that,
can
like
quote it.
it was a long film though.
Yeah,
Sometimes
it's
that like
right.
In Between is a classic as well. 'Cause that's got loads of quotables in it.
That's just
Like
our
what?
life, though. That's just
Yeah.
our juvenile.
But
What's going
I've
on?
never really been like much of a gangster film watcher. I don't know why. I think it's just because I'm not really much of a blood and.
No,
killing
there's
sort
not
of
like
guy.
a lot of blood and gore. This is more like it's more violence through threats.
Yeah.
And some things that you don't see as opposed to gore. Because this was filmed in
Ooh,
the
there-
80s or
There's
90s.
a bit of gore though, isn't it? The first scene in the shower is pretty gory, isn't it? Am I feeling the right film? He basically beats the crap out of someone, doesn't he?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's pretty much, it's just like ketchup because there's poor
Yeah,
special
Scottish,
effects.
yeah,
let's
that's
be
true.
honest.
Yeah.
But it's more the threat of violence that
Yeah.
concerns you. But yeah, as everyone, you guys have seen it.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen Scarface.
You haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, mate.
Definitely a film I'd recommend
Yeah.
watching.
I do want to watch all those.
I need to.
so
I
do
need
I.
to. I need
So
to.
do
I think I got Godfather down there, so I might have to watch that.
I
That
watched like the first 10 minutes of Godfather
it's
and
they're
they're long, yeah. And I was just like, oh man, I can't.
I thought you would have liked gangster movies though, because like we were talking about, like I think last week we were talking about like detective
Yeah.
and crime dramas, things like that. That we all
Yeah.
love them, and you kind
But
of.
they're
like that,
they're
don't you?
Yeah, I
modern.
do.
They're modern now, aren't they? So it's just a bit different. old
Yeah, I don't
school.
know. It's just one of them genres where I'm just like, I'm not really sure about it. Because the films tend to be quite long as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
But,
You need to find one that you really like, and then I feel it'll get you going to
Yeah.
watch more.
Yeah,
But until
yeah.
that happens, it's like
Here you go, mate.
Nah.
You can borrow Scarface.
It's like
You
to be
can't
fair,
do
when we
it.
watched
Nah.
when we watched Baby Driver, it had me thinking like how much actually like I quite like films to do with like bank jobs and like robberies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I
See,
think-
mate,
Yeah,
he's going
there
to
you
start
go,
doing
yeah.
bank jobs now. It's bad.
This is what I'm saying.
You're well influenced
when
by
we
the
talk about
movies.
when we talk about the superpower thing, I always want to have a superpower that will allow me to do these sorts of crimes.
So you're going to be
Okay, cool.
so you're gonna, there's going to be a super villain.
Yeah.
Villain?
Villain.
A super
Yeah.
I'll be a
villain around
vigilante,
London.
except I won't help people.
The anti-hero. You'll be
I'll
like,
just be anti. There's no hero. There's no hero.
you'd like be like, someone's like, oh my god, he's stolen my bag or whatever, and you take the crook down, but then keep the bag.
Yeah.
you're like
Justice.
Robin Hood for yourself.
Innit? That's my own personal justice. You get me? So we will move swiftly on. We'll keep on films though, because I want to do all the films and I want to do all the TV shows.
Oh wow.
So-
Dictator.
Very
Yeah.
regimented, my friend.
This is the new regime, guys. Get with it. Ben, you hear this? All right. So what I'm gonna be doing from now on. So Joe,
Glenn back in.
what was it?
Glenn
Ollie,
back in.
Hellboy. Which one of you was talking about? Hellboy.
That was me. No, I'm going to skip Hellboy.
Wow.
We were talking about that next week.
Ignoring the regime.
Sorry, mate. But the raid is what I want to
Alright,
talk
come on
about.
then. The raid. Then what's the raid?
The raid.
you didn't watch the raid, did
Ain't that,
Yes.
Is that the one in the tower block?
Yeah, that's in
Yeah.
the Tower Block. So the raid is one of my top 5 films
Whatever.
Really?
ever.
Oh
Like,
wow.
Okay, come on then.
Freaking
Oh, maybe I'll think
l-
Explain to
love
us.
it.
Explain to us why.
Why? I don't know. It's just so it's a foreign movie. I think it's set in China, and it's pretty much you're following a police squad,
Mm.
and they are raiding a drugs den,
Right.
trying to get to the top floor where the kingpin is. The latest Judge Dredd. Has anyone seen that?
Yeah.
That is a copy of this film.
Oh really?
The raid of
I
the
did not-
storyline.
I did not like Judge Dredd.
Did you not?
No.
No. Well, watch the raid because I enjoyed Judge Dredd, but they
Who's in
take
it?
a lot of it from
What the raid?
Yeah.
No one we know.
No one we know.
No,
Alright,
no.
fair enough.
It's a bunch
It's a
of
foreign
Asian,
movie.
Asian guys.
It's a foreign movie,
Oh, okay.
so I mean it's all subtitles, but it's just the martial arts, man. I
Yeah.
love a martial arts film, and there's not enough of it. And again, it's the cops versus robbers, pretty much.
Yeah.
But they're surrounded in this tower block because it turns out that it's not a assigned hit on the kingpin,
right.
but there's actually a bit of corruption from the top coming down.
What,
and
in the police?
yeah.
Yeah.
And they pretty much get sent to this tower block as a hit on the police to like send them a message.
Right. Okay.
That you discover that at the end of the film, but also that theme continues on to the Raid 2.
Right.
But mate, it's such a good film. A lot of sick kung fu.
Yeah.
Was it a predictable film? Would you know? Is it quite like?
Now that I've said the plot, relatively. No, man, I wouldn't say it's very predictable because there's a lot of. I mean, you follow the main guy and he's sick at martial arts, so you know he's gonna like kick ass all the way through, right?
Well, I mean, from just not even before you said anything about the film, just knowing about the tower block, it's a pretty linear film. He's going to go in the tower block.
There's only one way to go.
Exactly.
He's got to go up.
That little twist of the police being corrupted, that would have been quite a good twist, to be fair.
You would hate it.
Really? Why?
Because there's so much gore.
Oh.
There's a bit where he breaks down a door, but the door was closed and locked. So he breaks through the door, but there's just a little edge at the bottom.
Yeah.
Is left, or like in like as it's locked.
Yeah.
But it's like jagged because the door's obviously gone through.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this set was like made on 2x4s and plywood and things like that.
Yeah.
But there's a bit where he grabs some guy's head, jumps through the flat, and lands his head on the part of the door that's left.
Nice.
Obi's
face is not
Obi's gone so pale, he's going to be sick.
Ego pal, yeah. The imagery of that doesn't sound very appealing to me at all. Not gonna lie. But
I was going to recommend to you something like it's a little gory, but it's related to like gangsterous films. Have any of you seen Smoking Aces?
Yeah.
I think that's a film. I definitely would say watch that film. It's like about people.
That's like we were talking, I think, back when we saw John Wick.
Yeah.
We were talking about the assassins on assassins.
Yeah.
Oh, could we segue? I want to segue. We've still got films. We're ignoring the regime. The regime's out the window. We're segueing. Speaking of John Wick, they are planning a new John Wick TV series. I think it's going to be called The Continental. I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me on that. But I think the premise of it is it's going to be set in John Wick's assassin-like world, and they're going to be following different, so like that Continental hotel that he always goes to, checks into. I think it's going to be following those and the different characters that come in and out of those hotels. So what do we think about this?
Didn't you say this like
I think that's 10
weeks ago?
I do think
this is Obi's idea.
I do think that's
someone's listening.
Yeah, after we watched John Wick, but hey, I didn't get paid. I think my royalties, but whatever. So yeah, what do you think? Do you think we'll be watching this?
But it's not going to have Keanu Reeves in, right?
To be fair, I think the guy who's making it said that there's a possibility he might make an appearance.
Oh, that's big.
Which would be cool.
Just drive past.
But no,
Like, see you later.
I love you, John Wick.
Well, yeah.
But no, I think that would be a pretty good TV show, to be fair.
Yeah.
Lots of drama, lots of action. Be very
Would you like it to follow? So, like, I was watching this video and they were saying their suggestion was like each season you follow a different continental hotel.
Yeah.
Around the world, or would you like it just to be one hotel and then follow? Would you like it to be? So I'll ask you one question. One, would you like it to just be one continental hotel? And two, would you like it just to follow like one assassin, or would you like it each episode to maybe follow a different couple assassin storylines?
I want each episode to follow a different assassin, and then you'd have a few episodes where they coincide,
Okay.
or someone double crosses someone. I'm not sure whether you need a different season at a different location. However, I think like American Horror Story does something kind of similar to that, and it does quite well. Yeah. I think you could just have one season where they're at just different locations, or they have a main branch where the assassin comes in, gets his job, or a main office where they get their job, and then you see them in all the different branches. I assume they'll travel the world to do these jobs, and you see them stop in and stuff. I mean, one of the main characters could be that hotel guy that's in both films. I don't know his name, the one who looks after John Wick's dog. But yeah, we'll see.
Or you could have Ian McShane, couldn't you? I wonder if he might have a...
John Wick's dad, cough cough.
So I think we'll give it a go. Like we'll watch. Maybe.
Oh yeah,
yeah, definitely.
Do you think this will actually do well though? Do you think this is actually a good idea?
I don't know.
That people will actually like want to watch this?
I think from the hype coming off John Wick 1 and 2, a lot of people will watch it at the beginning, but then a lot of like drift of people will...
I was thinking, I mean, you can't really put this on, I mean, I suppose you could put it on a Sky, but you can't really put this on like network television if you're going to do it the way John Wick's done, because John Wick is like violent and gory as fuck.
Yeah.
So you need.
It needs to be picked up by like Netflix,
Netflix or streaming
Prime,
service. Yeah, you can't really put it on a.
The only thing I say about it is I like the idea of it, and I do like that movies do sometimes cross over. And I've probably contradicted myself several times in these podcasts, because I'm sure I've said I don't like this. But I like it sometimes. Like Limitless, for example, I like the idea that they carried it on, because I thought it was a good concept idea of a film, not executed great. However, they tried to mimic it with Lucy and they absolutely flopped. And then they brought out a TV series which I thought was decent but didn't pick up enough hype, so then it got cancelled.
Yeah.
They've done several things like this. They've done Minority Report, which was awful.
The film?
No, the film was great.
Oh, right.
The
No,
TV
the TV
series
show,
was gives me shivers thinking about it. Rush Hour. I don't know how well that's done.
Got cancelled after one.
It got cancelled.
Oh, really?
What? There was another thing they did. The two people.
Oh,
the
Lethal Weapon.
Lethal
That's
Weapon.
still going, I think.
That's still going. I mean, there's several that
And
have
Training
tried.
Dude,
Oh,
got
really?
Training Day TV series.
Oh, okay.
as well.
There's a few that they've tried, seem to have done well. A few they've tried and they've done horribly, like horrible. And then there's a few they've done okay in my eyes, and it just hasn't picked up enough. Because maybe it's because it's not on mainstream, like, or it is on normal TV, and not many people these days watch normal TV.
That's true.
And I think this is going to be the issue with the DC universe, where they're going to make their own DC streaming site.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's where the
Fucking
new
hell.
Teen Titans is going to go on
And
to.
Young Justice season
Yeah,
wow.
it's like
Well, and
Young Justice season 3.
Yeah,
But I
it's
thought it was
gonna
being
be-
picked up by Netflix.
3. Oh, I heard it was going on the streaming service. Maybe it's going on both.
So
I don't know.
is this going to be a paid streaming service?
I think
or
I
free?
reckon, yeah. It won't be free. What do you mean? It won't be free.
Amazon and Netflix aren't free, are they?
Can we quickly... Sorry. We'll come back to
Can't
that.
revert back. Yeah.
But quickly swing back to John Wick. I just want to ask a couple of questions. So, like, remember when we were talking about John Wick 2, we were saying, like, there was so much killing and so much death and stuff. Do you not think that watching a TV show about assassins can get a bit repetitive?
Yeah.
In that people are just dying?
I reckon if they're following a lot of different assassins, though, they've got a great variety to follow a different storyline.
Yeah, but
so there might be a bit of complication. So, like, his target is his lover, or you know, and it will turn out to be Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie.
They might
Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
they might have different moral codes. Like, I know they have their code, but in their self they might have different moral codes. Like, some of them might be like, I won't kill women and children, and then they have that situation when there's a child in front of them and they've got. Or some of them might be like.
But I mean, the main premise of John Wick was he kills everyone and then gets to his target and decides whether to kill him or not. That's basically what that would be.
Yeah, but it's
But
not
we're
about
not,
John
we're
Wick.
not following John Wick, so
No.
it could
No,
be totally different.
exactly.
It could be like, I'm a sneaky ninja assassin, so I'm going to ignore everyone, get to my target, and then knock him out.
That's
Also,
the thing.
also in this series, will we find out if John Wick's the best assassin?
Ooh.
Because if he's not, who's coming after him?
Mind blown, shattered.
Like, because
Shattered my
John
universe,
Wick
mate.
I'm not being funny yet. He was running. He wasn't running too fast, but he was running fast enough to make me think, there's an assassin better than you, John, isn't there? So,
Keanu's getting pretty on there.
I mean, again, should have picked up the dog, but you know, whatever. We'll leave it at that.
We should certainly.
I was fuming.
Or leave the dog behind. Although he did all that effort to keep the dog,
Yeah.
so he should
Dog,
probably
dog,
keep the dog. Yeah.
And in the first film, didn't he kill everyone because they killed the dog?
Yeah.
Well, partly. And it took his car. So.
Well, yeah.
So,
And yeah.
But yeah, I think in the TV show, I would prefer it to be targeted on just one assassin. Because I think if you got a load of different assassins, it would become very jumbled and there would be no real story to keep you there.
I think I prefer
if it
Chris's
chops and
idea,
changes.
to be honest, of the different assassins, but they kind of link in at certain points. In
Yeah, to be fair, if they link all together, then
Yeah.
cool.
I do get your point though, because like when you probably have an hour episode, maybe an hour and a half episode, because I know some series are doing that now, it's like ridiculous, but you don't really get a background enough of a character, and maybe that will not lead people to make them likable. But then, do you want an assassin to be likable?
If you want your main character to be,
If there is, that's what I mean. But if there is not a main character, do you need them to be likable?
there's a main character for an episode. Every episode.
True.
So.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll give it a go.
And they got to do a thingy first. They one of the episode they what's one of the first episodes
Pilot.
called? Pilot, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Big Bang Theory, they had a pilot episode. People didn't like it.
True.
They changed it.
True.
Now
Yeah,
it's a great series.
Oh my god!
Well,
What if it was like a live action Assassin's film?
What, as in like with a crowd and stuff?
Yeah, and it's like literally just like trying to fight each other. And they're like jumping all over the place,
That'd be the worst
running
idea.
through
That's one of the
walls.
worst ideas I've ever heard.
I thought you meant it'd be like a Friends thing where people were watching. No, not Friends, like Big Bang Theory. And then,
That's
like,
what you
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
and
that's
then-
what I'm talking
and,
about.
when
They
someone
should do that for more
when
things
someone
on
punches him in
television.
the face, they're like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That would suck.
That'd be hilarious. I get
Terrible.
teased to watch that.
That'd be terrible.
Oh shit!
That is so joke.
Heard it here first.
Copyright.
Innit? Alright, so I feel like this whole structure just gone now. So now we're just gonna, since we're talking about streaming services, so we're talking about that DC streaming service and that they were gonna put Titans, the new Teen Titans live action show on that. And I think Young Justice season 3, but I'll have to fact check that because I'm
You're
not
probably
sure.
right, to be fair.
So Chris, what have we heard about the Teen
Well,
Titans?
I believe what I read is that did you ever watch the cartoon when you were younger, Teen
No,
Titans? I didn't either. How you did?
Yeah.
Every character that's in that, bar
Cyborg.
Cyborg, will be in Teen Titans.
Why?
And it
Do we know?
Films, you know,
TV.
flashy,
They don't
like,
like.
yada, yada.
Although I say that Cyborg might make.
Cyborg. Is that?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's him, yeah.
However, because I think when Teen Titans is created, Cyborg's probably a concrete. In the more recent ones, he's a solid Justice League member.
Yeah.
At the moment, he's not even a member.
Is it canon with?
I'm gonna guess it is because it's on the DC streaming service.
Yeah.
Right, so that would.
It is
explain
also
why Cyborg
so
then.
it is also based around Nightwing.
Yeah,
I don't know if
so
it's-
because it's
Oh, okay.
Titans, it's
Yeah.
not Teen Titans. I need to because I keep saying it's Teen Titans, but
It's
because it's Nightwing, it'll be
it's,
Titans.
yeah,
It'll be Titans.
and I was gonna say I don't know if it's based on Nightwing before he becomes Nightwing, like
Right.
Robin to
As in
Nightwing.
Robin.
I think. Do you know what? I'm keep interrupting you. Correct.
No, go on.
So I think that it is him. Was during I was the same video I was watching. I was talking about a while ago. They said they like described like the different characters, and they were saying like I think this person because they're not giving him the same names as what they are in the.
Oh really?
In the, yeah. Well, the thing that I was listening to, they said that they for the little cast description, they haven't given them the same names as what they are. So
What do you mean the same names?
so
As in-
like you know
superhero
Nightwing's name is Dick Grayson. He's not going to be called Dick Grayson.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's called like John something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like Obi said, it's about a character called John. John is haunted by the murder of his family. Unbeknownst to those around him, he's also a vigilante. In the shadows, he fights with the commitment and conviction of an artist, the brutal grace of a dancer. Mentally and physically, he is covered in a map of scars. And through his fights to escape his past, it is often a losing battle. And he is the series lead.
So they're not going to make him a gymnast. They're going to make him a dancer now. They're ruining.
Well,
Dick
no,
Grayson.
And
They said the grace of a dancer, so
yeah.
same thing, innit?
There's someone called Sarah as well, but I can't. It doesn't
That's
really
gonna be,
explain who she.
Starfire,
Starfire.
thank you.
Yeah.
Star
I-
Wars.
I don't
Because
know.
Starfire's an alien.
Yeah, she is.
So
And
what-
then you'll also have Raven,
Yeah.
who is like
She's gonna be a teenager in there.
How many?
she's a
How
teenager
many
in
people are we looking at? Sorry,
Four,
for the
five.
Titans?
five.
Oh,
So you have not Dick Grayson, obviously John, whoever you want to call him, who as Nightwing. You have Starfire, who is in the more recent series, she's more the leader than Dick Grayson, and then he kind of comes in every now and again. Then you have Robin this is the most recent one, is Robin as Damian Wayne. You have Raven, who is this spiritual magical person, and in her diamond shaped thing in her head she has her father who's a demon trapped inside, and he's like a really powerful dude.
Decent.
Then you have
Beast
Martian, Beast Boy. So he's like Martian
the main guy from
Manhunter's.
X-Men.
He's like Martian Manhunter's like nephew or something, and he's related to another Martian girl
Okay.
called Martian Girl, maybe. And in some of them, Superboy's in it, but in the most recent series, he's not. So we'll say he's not in it, because it's like it's a bit of a hit or miss, really. Because obviously you have Young Justice, and Young Justice incorporates loads. Like they incorporate Supergirl, Raven in it, Beast Boy, Martian Girl, Robin, all kinds of Robins,
You have
Kid
to
Flash.
think now that well, I'm assuming because I think both DC is bringing out both of these, so Titans and Young Justice at the same time. They would have different characters in each thing, so I'd imagine that so like say if Robin is in so like if Tim Drake's Robin is in Young Justice, he's not going to make an appearance in.
Well, Young Justice is a cartoon,
Teen
while
Titans.
Teen Titans is
Yeah,
live
but
action.
I'm saying
Yeah.
they're both going concurrently. Like, I think like if I saw the Flash cartoon in Wally West or whatever in Young Justice, and then he appeared in Titans, I'll just be a bit like, what?
Well,
like,
because Young Justice, it'll be season 3, so there's already in depth about a lot of characters, and so
and
I think,
I'd imagine it's a bit further on in the future, the Titans. wasn't
yeah.
it?
So in Young Justice, Nightwing's already progressed to being in all part of the Justice League. So as Superboy, so as Martian
Superboy.
Girl. I think it's Martian Girl. I think that's her name. And so has
Miss Martian.
That's the one. Kid Flash hasn't made it there yet. Neither has Artemis. And so they're like main characters in it. And there's a big like cliffhanger ending at end of season 2, which they kind of need to pick up on.
What would be your superhero name?
My superhero name?
It's got to be something really catchy, but no.
Don't know. Rock.
Oh, B.
Rock.
Just O and B.
The Rock's taken, mate. Black Lantern, isn't it?
No, not the Rock, just Rock. Black Light.
Joe, what would be yours?
Well, my superhero
Scooby
name.
Doo.
Scooby.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So, are we going to watch the Titans? I'm going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely going to watch Young Justice as
I'll
well.
give it a go. Yeah.
As long as, to be fair though, it's going to annoy me if they put it on a streaming service where I'd have to pay money for it, because that
Yeah.
would piss me off.
Is it going to be animated? Because the other one is animated.
So like
animated, right?
so Teen Titans is going to be live action. Young Justice is animated.
Okay.
Oh,
I don't like how they're changing people's names
yeah.
to what they.
I don't know if that's
actually are.
official though. That's just what the
Yeah.
That's just what the article said.
They shouldn't do.
Ollie, you're not
Dick
gonna
Grayson
watch
is my only Nightwing.
You're not going to watch it. I agree. You're not going to watch it, are you?
I'm probably not.
No. Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, we'll keep in the superhero genre, and we're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which Joe
Yes.
saw recently.
I recently watched it, and I enjoyed the film,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't enjoy it as much as Guardians 1
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
because I didn't like.
In an interview,
I didn't
you know.
like. I didn't like the bad guy. There you go.
Yeah, it was totally shit.
Mm-hmm.
It pretty boring.
Yeah, but the bad guy in the first one wasn't all that great either.
That's true.
He was pretty stupid.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who's it?
Did you enjoy the comedy?
Yeah. To be fair,
The purple guy.
it's a normal
Oh, yeah.
Marvel film with the comedy. I enjoyed the comedy, enjoyed the fighting scenes, enjoyed the story mostly, but I just thought Ego was a bit lackluster.
Mm.
I like the fact that they're bringing in Celestials to
Okay.
the MCU though.
Mm.
That adds a whole other depth to everything.
I saw a video of Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, and Robert Downey Jr. So I'm assuming they're
Infinity
starting
War.
on their.
Yeah, and there was a photo of Doctor Strange,
Yeah.
Hulk, Robert Downey Jr. and the guy who's with Doctor Strange.
They start. I
It's
saw.
a big cast, and I
Yeah.
think there's. Too
It's
many
everyone.
people.
No, it is literally everyone.
That's too
I
many,
saw
man.
that video. They started filming last year. I want to say. Of Infinity War.
Not a clue, mate.
This
Not
one.
sure.
Listening to Tom Holland is like listening to a fetus. it's like a 6-foot fetus.
Jesus. But the thing
It's
is,
not an insult.
no. But the thing is, in the film, I think they're gonna incorporate everyone. Whether they've got a minute in the film or they've got an hour, it's another thing. And
Pretty
also,
long.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
It's gonna be 3 hours.
they were originally
No,
going to have Avengers 3 Part 1 and Avengers 3 Part 2, but
Yeah,
they've
but
changed it now to Avengers 3 and 4. But that doesn't mean it won't have continuity. So it doesn't mean it won't be a Part 1 and Part 2. It just means it have separate names. So it could be
Yeah.
a separate. So the first half
Yeah,
of the
they
film
have-
might not be about
Yeah.
Thanos, but the second part of the film might be about Thanos.
I reckon the fourth, in inverted commas, Avengers film will still be Thanos, but I think a lot of people will die in the third one.
I'm saying nothing
Main characters
because
or secondary characters?
A bit of both.
Is this not Robert Downey Jr.'s? Is Iron Man's or Tony Stark? Sorry, is this not his image back from the third film
Yeah, there was
when
that.
the Hulk had like loads of spears in him?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There was that,
Mm.
but I think not those particular characters.
Who do you wanna see?
I'm claiming. I'm shouting it now. There is going to be a massive cop out.
You
That's
reckon?
what I reckon. I reckon. Yes, you can. No, that's it. That's it. I'm going to leave it as that.
Who
It's
do,
gonna
you, who do you want to see die?
Who do I want to see
Yeah.
die?
If anyone's going to die, who would you want to see
Fucking
die?
hell.
Oh,
Do you know the most shocking death to me? If Hulk died.
really?
If
I
he
thought
died,
it's
you'd
the
be
same.
like, wow,
I would
okay,
say.
someone,
Or to-
yeah, something's
Or to
going
be
down.
fair, the power of the Infinity Gauntlet
Yeah, well,
Could kill
well,
everyone.
in a click of a finger, it can kill someone if you got it. But
which is why
Or who either? So you can tell me either who do you most want to die, or who do you most want not to die?
Vision, God, kill him, please.
Why?
Oh,
He has
hate
to
him
die.
so much.
he has to die.
He's such
Vision
a
has to
pointless
die
character.
Why?
because he has the Infinity Stone in his head.
You don't know if that. You don't know if that. That I know he was created for it, but I don't know if that keeps him alive or if that just gives him powers.
I thought that was his life.
I mean, this is what I don't know.
'Cause it's
I
the
don't know.
stone- it's-
I thought
as
that's
in
what
the
made
stone
his
of
orange.
life.
If it's the stone of life, then yeah, probably gives him life. Yeah, you're probably
Why?
right.
Why would he have to die? Can you
Because
explain?
if
Because the Infinity Gauntlet uses all 6 Infinity Stones,
Okay.
and one of the Infinity Stones is in Vision's head.
Okay.
So I would think if you pull it out, he will die.
Okay.
Or he's just turned into a normal dude, really pale, and he would just lose his colour.
Yeah, maybe.
He wouldn't be orange anymore.
I'm curious on whether he can
Purple.
still pick up Thor's hammer, because he's a bit.
I would say he wouldn't be.
Probably
able
not
to.
now because he wasn't it like the theory or whatever was that he could.
He was
pick up 'cause
he was just
like,
born.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a genuine
Yeah.
geezer.
Like he had no
Um,
opinions about things, and he was just
yeah.
like new and fresh.
But
like.
he messed up War Machine, didn't he? So,
Yeah, but I think it's more that he's now in love, that it's kind of making him doubt what he's doing
As
and
well,
stuff.
I learned that Thor is not actually called Thor. He's Odin's son, but he's only called
Chris
Thor because he's
Hemsworth.
got the power of Thor.
Didn't you say this? I swear you said this on a podcast.
I don't know.
I don't think so. I remember because I asked about Odin's son.
Yeah.
That might be what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Because I was asked if his son
Yeah.
called Thor son.
He's Odin's son. Thor is Odin's son, but he's not Thor. Thor is the power.
So it was Odin. So does Odin have the power of Odin?
Well, yeah.
Oh, I
He's
don't know.
Odin.
Wait, so what if someone takes Thor's hammer?
So what's Thor's actual name then?
Odin's son.
Well, his name's just Odin's son.
What?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah.
You're probably right. You've been right about
Like
most things so
Odin
far.
Junior. Junior.
Which
Fair
is
enough.
why I've got a theory about Ragnarok.
Go on.
Because you see his hammer get destroyed.
So is he no longer called Thor then, when his hammer gets
He
destroyed?
wouldn't be Thor.
Well,
He'd
the
be-
hammer's called something else though. The hammer's called
Mjolnir.
like, yeah. So why is he not called Mjolnir? He's got the power of Mjolnir.
No, he's got the power of Thor, which
But-
lets him wield
What?
Mjolnir.
Thor's like the god of thunder, isn't he? or
Oh
something?
my
Yeah.
god.
It is-
What?
But I reckon.
I mean,
What's going
you're making
on?
sense to be fair to
I
me.
reckon in Ragnarok, he obviously loses Mjolnir, but he's going to pick up the Axe of Despair.
And become.
But his name's Thor Odin's son.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah, it's Thor.
Full name Thor Odin's son.
Don't look at me. He said it.
I mean, yeah, whatever. Cool. Let's carry on.
But anyway, yeah.
So yeah, answer my question. Who
Who do I want to see die? I don't really want to see anyone die.
If you had to pick someone,
If I had to pick
or
someone,
who do you most want not to die?
I don't want Spider-Man to die.
Okay, fine, Chris.
Vision, mate.
Vision. You want a Vision?
Oh, he's such a bad character.
Why?
Oh, he's so rubbish, man.
But why?
He's just so pointless, man. Nah, just
That's,
not
that's a very articulate response from you
Yeah.
there, Chris.
Nah, just
You
don't
explained your point very well.
Oh, do you know what, actually? Bucky. Do you know what?
No, move on. Ollie.
Captain America
Ollie.
can die as well,
Ollie.
you know.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you were gonna kick me, so I was moving my leg out of the way.
I didn't even move.
Jesus Christ!
Oh,
I didn't even move.
Oh wow!
Saw my life flash before my eyes.
Oh wow!
I just looked at you, Chris. I didn't even move.
No, but seriously though, Bucky Barnes could go and do one. It's about time he
Oh,
went.
Chris, shut your fucking mouth. See, you made me swear again. Ollie, who would you want to?
I'd be happy if they all just went into a wormhole and never came out.
So who do you want to die?
Who do I want to die? I wouldn't mind if War Machine died.
I knew you were gonna say that. You hate him.
I don't hate him. He's just a bit of a dick.
Is it because it's the
he's pretty
actor
pointless.
or because of the
Nah, just-
War Machine? Because you didn't like the transition of
yeah, I
actors.
didn't, but no, he's just a bit of a dick.
Yeah, but no
Um,
one likes that.
But I don't want. I most not want. The person who I most want not to die is Captain America.
Ugh.
Genuine geezer.
Ugh.
You're so in love
You're
with
such
it.
a bad
I think
person.
he will die though.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't want Thor to die. I love
And then
Thor.
Bucky Barnes take over.
Or Hulk. Don't
Fair
want
enough.
Hulk to die.
Captain America.
Or John Adams, or Adam
Adam Warlock.
Warlock.
Adam Warlock.
Well,
Is he gonna be in it?
he's gonna be. Well, did you not see the end of Guardians of the Galaxy too?
Oh yeah, Adam.
Adam. So he's gonna be a key factor in the Infinity War. Also, will the Inhumans be part of it? Because if they are, that's a pretty huge chunk. That's a terrible series that's going to come out. Oh my god, I just thought about that.
I don't understand who the villains are though in this. Who's gonna be,
Thanos.
so one guy is just going to be up against
He
like 1,000 people.
He is very powerful.
I know, but does that not? That just bores you so much, isn't it? Seeing an overly powerful bad guy. That's so boring. We were all talking about how, well, you guys were talking about how you love Loki because he's well clever and he manipulates people.
Yeah.
So is Thanos. Thanos is really clever as well, and he manipulates people.
Thanos is basically the ultimate bad guy
Yeah.
in Marvel.
Although he has said I think it was quoted that he was inferior to the guy that they tried to bring in Fantastic Four.
Galactus?
Yeah, he said that Galactus' power is by far greater than his.
Galactus is a whole
He's a world eater, isn't
different thing.
he? Yeah. But yeah,
Okay. Fair enough. Moving on, swiftly.
Captain America's gonna die.
Fucking Christ. So yeah, we're done with the films now actually, so we'll move on to TV shows. So we'll start.
Should we start with the biggest one?
Nah, I should have mine.
Why don't we talk about the trailers?
Let me talk about mine. Guys. I win.
Chris? Should be stood.
Oh, damn.
We're gonna talk about the trailers.
Start with the biggest one.
Trailer. So Game of Thrones. We saw a new trailer came out.
I haven't watched it.
Ago. Have you actually not?
No.
Let's watch it now. Should we get it up?
Alright.
No. It's alright. No.
Let's
Just
go.
talk
Yeah,
about it.
Let's watch it now.
I just didn't want. I didn't want any spoilers, mate.
We're gonna watch it now.
Okay.
Okay,
So
go on.
we just, Ollie wants
Ollie wants to take over. Oh, shit.
Alright, regime takeover, I see.
No, mate, you're hosting. Go on.
Well, we've just seen the trailer, the second trailer, I think they brought out now. Full trailer for Game of Thrones.
Season 7.
Chris, as it's the freshest in your mind, what are you saying?
Do you know what? It reminded me of the thing I really hated about Transformers.
What's that?
Because of the dragons. But we'll leave that. We'll just leave that. Yeah, it looked interesting. I'm worried that the new series is going to become too predictable because it's not predictable. It wasn't predictable.
Okay.
Like, I couldn't predict anything. Like that Hodor. That was amazing.
It's still too early.
I know. But
Too soon.
I feel like it. And I don't like. I hope I'm wrong. I feel like it's going to become predictable in the sense that we're going to know what's going to happen. And I think, yeah, that. But it looked interesting. Like he said something about don't go north, go south.
Yeah.
In trying to keep her with him, isn't he? Because he's a weirdo. That's Sansa in it. I can't remember their names. I'm pretty useless with them. And Arya's gonna boss it, isn't she? She's gonna do some face tricks and beat people up. The dragons are gonna wreck people up, and that lady who loves her brother is gonna go absolutely insane and become the next
Cersei.
Mad Queen. Yeah, she's gonna go insane, I reckon.
That's actually quite a good theory. I never thought of that.
I think she will.
Yeah, I think you shouted it a while back.
Halfway there.
Yeah, she's going to be a reincarnation of
She's
the
got
Mad
nothing
King.
she's got nothing left to
I personally think the story's going to go that Jamie is going to have to kill her. I either think that Jamie will kill her, or they'll kill each other somehow. And then I think if Jamie does kill her and survives, I think he's then going to help someone else take over. Because I think he's going to think, what's the point? And he's going to be like, just let me be a guard or just let me live my life.
Yeah.
Because he does love Tyrion, doesn't he?
This isn't the end though, is it? Because there's one more series after this.
Yeah.
So.
True. So I feel like this will be the series build up to a big battle.
I feel like this series is going to be pretty action-packed.
I think there's going to be a few battles in this one, but next season is going to be the big one.
Battle. Yeah, that's what I think. And I think the White Walker's going to be involved. I think do you know what? Did we talk about this in another thingy ago? Who's the guy from Misfits who was like a mad slaughterer of people and like chopping off balls and all sorts?
Yeah, Simon from Misfits.
Apparently,
Ewan.
Ramsay Bolton.
Yeah, Ramsay Bolton.
apparently the guy. So, who's the creepy looking guy who had his balls chopped off? Or his willy chopped off? Yeah, Theon.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't Theon's uncle trying to take over their land?
Yeah.
Apparently, he is so much worse than Ramsay Bolton. Like Ramsay Bolton stuff looks like child's play. Apparently,
Really?
apparently, yeah, that's what I read. I don't know. I thought we talked about it here, but maybe.
I don't think so.
No,
I think-
never heard that.
I mean, personally, I don't know the characters' names well enough, but I think that's the guy who's worse than
How's
Ramsay
it gonna
Bolton.
get worse, man?
Oh, that's it. That's exactly the
How do you
question.
go lower
mate.
than hell?
Yeah,
I don't know,
Ramsay
but
Bolton.
I assume that because there's so many different things to take into consideration with Games of Thrones. There's so many islands to bring in and
many
like
stories.
giants.
That's what makes it
and-
so good, to be fair.
Yeah,
There's just so much stuff going on all at the same time.
Yeah.
And you're just like, part of you's like, I can't keep up, but then another part of you's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this, we see, I think Jon Snow, is he north of the wall again? Or he's in...
it wouldn't surprise me if he came back to gather people for a bigger threat.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm not sure what this wall does really.
Would you? Sorry, I'm just gonna skip.
For thousands of
Skip
years,
the
they protected us.
I want to ask: would you guys prefer if this season was like big battle, you know, climax, and then the next season was just like fallout, or would you want to see this kind of season like kind of bit of build up, and then next season just big?
Bit of both. Could it not be like the start of this season is the build up, then the end of it is the beginning of the
couple
big battle,
episodes,
but then the start of the next season is the end of the big battle and then the fallout?
Okay.
That could be pretty cool, to be fair. I wouldn't mind that.
I just hope, I honestly hope that they tell us the backstory. I want to know if the theory is true that they are all related. The three that you say are related, like a holy trinity kind of thing, but not holy, messed up, and discharged and.
Yeah, I reckon they do something like that. It will be through Bran, you know, through his visions or whatever.
I do like his visions, although I don't like his character.
I don't mind him, but I do fear that that whole vision thing that he can do is going to become just like a plot device to just, you know, just reveal stuff.
Yeah.
That, you know.
I mean, I don't know how else you could really do it. Looking through history books and stuff. I mean, what's his face? Sam's gonna be in the library discovering some stuff in it. I'm sure he'll stumble upon something, send a raven somewhere, and be like, "Oh, guys, it's not just this stuff that kills the White Walkers. You've got something else."
That probably will happen.
And you're like, Jon Snow, if you touch them, they will die. Or something like that, something bizarre, isn't it? And then you've got obviously that witchy woman who's not as young as she looks.
I hope she dies, man.
She probably won't.
Wait, man. And I want, because I know for a fact that Stannis ain't dead. I want Stannis to come back.
You reckon?
I know for a fact.
Always when they cut out from showing someone dying
at all. I want him to come back so someone can chop his.
He's gonna ruin stuff. That could be a key part of this, you know.
Stand that guy.
Someone's gonna
Don't like
go into
Not
bed.
at all.
Someone's gonna go to bed with him, not actual bed, but like go into working with him, and he's gonna mess him up somehow.
Arsehole, man. He's an arsehole.
Yeah. And I'd like to hope that the Skins guy would come back and actually take over
Claim
his
the throne.
kid. Yeah, that'd be nice.
The rightful heir to the throne.
Yeah, like the battle's over. Daenerys is like, or Jon Snow or Tyrion's like, oh yeah, I'll be king, and then he just walks in and being like, actually, guys, I own it. It's my throne. Or there's a battle happening and they need a sword and they just like pluck it from the throne and it all falls apart. That'd be pretty funny.
There is no throne.
Yeah.
Alright, so anyone got anything else to mention?
No, I'm sure Glenn will have
Yeah.
loads of facts.
Yeah.
and
I think we need to revisit
figures
this like maybe the week before it starts and just like give like a little
When is
Yeah.
that?
like I think it starts on the 16th of July. So I suppose we'll be able to watch it on the 17th of July.
Is that the same day as Spider-Man Homecoming?
I want to say that. Maybe actually.
Spider-Man's the 7th.
Yeah. 7th for the.
Was it that early?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else is coming
It's
out?
only
Then?
in a couple of
There's
weeks.
another one coming out. Another film that we want to see is coming
Planet
out.
of the Apes.
That's the
What was it?
cannot wait for
Planet of the
that.
Apes.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I really want to see that.
There was a new trailer for that in when we watched Transformers, wasn't there? That was a new trailer. Did you see the trailers? Any of the
Yeah,
trailers?
yeah, yeah.
That was newish, wasn't it? There was extra bits in that.
I'm not so bothered about them.
Really? Did you not like
You
it?
got-
No, I like them, but I just think they're diluting it too much now.
Oh, really? I
The
think
last
that.
film came out like 2 years ago, didn't it?
Yeah.
I know, but how many films is this now? The fourth one?
This is the third. This is the end of the trilogy.
Is it only?
I don't know if it's the
Yeah.
end.
Come on.
Yeah. Well,
The end.
To be fair,
they made 5 and then they did a
Yeah,
reboot
the
of
original
1.
ones, there's loads. There's loads.
Yeah.
True, very true.
They like in the originals, don't they? Like they apes take over, then the humans take it back, and the humans go to a different planet, and the apes
Yeah.
are there, and
The
Then Mark
original,
Wahlberg turns up. He's like,
Yeah.
why am I doing it?
the originals actually sound really interesting. I want to watch them one day.
You want 'em if you
Classic,
want.
mate. Get away from me, you
damn
stab-
dirty ape.
there you go. It's a classic.
It actually is. You can
Quotable.
quote it.
Quotable.
Alright,
Can't quote
so
any of the new ones.
Wait, can I say my thing about Misfits actually?
go
As that's
Chris.
on there.
Go ahead.
So, what do you think of this? America TV
No.
is gonna
No, no, I don't want to see it.
What? They're
they're gonna do Misfits.
No,
They're
gonna
gonna
be shit.
no. It's not. It's like what they're trying to do in between us.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
That was so
It's
funny.
awful. What, the American one? Did you watch that? I watched one episode. It was terrible.
Oh, that was great because they've got Jay as some like
Fat
really
kid.
fat,
Yeah,
like
loser.
yeah, and now like Seuss's role is so much better.
Don't they just replicate it with
Yeah,
these
it's
4
literally
characters?
just-
Yes,
it's
the
the
exact
So
same
the
story.
only time that I've watched something and I've watched it again and America have done it better, like there's a lot of things, but like TV series wise, it's The Office, and For me, I found it really hard to get through because I've got all The Office and I haven't watched it all, but I'm finding it hard to get through because the first and second series
Are exactly the same.
so far are exactly the same. I'm sure there's a few different jokes.
Divert off,
Yeah.
and it becomes very funny.
Yeah, so I've seen so many clips of it and it's so funny, like
Yeah,
the
it's
CPR
hilarious.
thing and and he's
It's
just
hilarious.
he cuts the face out. And he's like, and he's like, got the face. Oh, that's so. I know. And the other one where he pretends to be that guy for the day. He's got their actor friend in.
Jim.
Jim.
Oh yeah.
He
He pays his mate.
he pays his mate to be an actor.
It's all about Jim and Dwight though. That's it, isn't it? They're just playing practical jokes on each other.
Yeah, that's it. That's a funny thing.
But anyway, that was a
Gonna be us.
very off tangent. But so you don't like the idea then, Obes?
I just think like the premise is fine because obviously I liked Misfits, but if they try and make the humour the same,
Yeah.
then because it doesn't translate over.
Americans
Yeah.
can't do English humour.
No, exactly. And the same way, like English people can't really do American people's humour as well.
Yeah.
Like
No.
it's-
Because
it's-
I don't know what it is.
And the-
There
yeah.
is no American humour.
I'm sure there is.
Ooh. So,
Ooh.
the thought, the views shared by Oliver
There goes our
Bravner.
second,
Our
our
Oliver
second
Bravner.
popular.
The views shared by Oliver Bravner are those of Oliver Bravner and not the YAC podcast specifically. Thank you.
No, but can you explain that a little bit more? What's like the British humour is like dry sarcasm, and it's
Yeah.
like witty. That's it, pretty much. Dry, witty,
And in
sarcastic.
Misfits, it's Nathan.
No, yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
what's,
yeah.
what's
But I'm saying
American
American
humour?
it's just different. I'm not really good at explaining it, but are they not like you watch The Office and that's funny, right?
Yeah.
Is it exactly the same as the English Office?
I ain't seen the English Office.
Oh, you
The
know.
first two seasons are.
Right, but after that,
After that, no.
They change
It's
it.
still
No,
funny?
they change
Oh, yeah.
it. They
No,
change
no,
it. They
it's
change
so
it a
different.
bit. They change it a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, again, we were just saying that what I think the best thing about The Office is the practical jokes between Dwight and Jim. Maybe that's the American humour.
do they do practical jokes in the English one?
Not so much. I don't think.
Boom, hit the nail on the head right there, haven't we?
Um,
We've discovered it.
We digress.
The problem I've got is that they can't make Nathan.
That's true.
There is no other Nathan in this world. Well, besides our Nathan, but
Shout out Nathan.
yeah.
Alright, so yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not looking forward to that. I probably won't watch it.
Yeah.
Don't know about anybody else.
Probably not.
Alright, cool. Okay, Chris, let's talk about Orange is the New Black quickly because we've both finished it. And do you guys give a shit about it?
Not at
Give a
all.
shit.
No,
Don't give a
is it
shit.
on what? Series 5?
Season 5,
I
yeah.
haven't even started, mate, so...
I can't remember the bit that I was going to talk about. There was a bit last time that I was like, oh yeah, if they'd done something differently, I'll stop somewhere else. Was it Orange is the New Black? I don't know. I'll have
So
to
basically, yeah,
revisit the podcast, find out what I said, and then do it in the next podcast.
fair enough. The whole of season 5 follows basically a prison riot that they're having because some guard was being a dick and they shot him, blah 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 blah. And I thought the season was decent. I think the season 4 was better, personally.
Okay.
I liked the ending with spoiler, with Piscatella getting shot in the face and dying. That was pretty cool.
Pretty brutal.
Yeah, and
Sounds it.
then they're
Is that
about
prisoner?
No, he's a guard.
He's a psychopath. And they're about to raid the room for the final few people.
That's it. So, sorry, I just got to say one. They said when they're on the phone, they were like, "Oh, there's 10 people missing."
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there was 10 people in that room. Yeah, there were not 10 people missing. There were 12 people missing, because that weird girl who's in love with the guard, she was also missing, and also that Asian,
Asian woman,
woman was missing. So there was actually 12 people missing.
But then
But then
you
you
have to
deduct one for that lady.
Yeah.
Still,
Still
there.
one person.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I was just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Although.
Prison
No,
pop-
no,
prison
they're wrong.
I'm
They're
going to
wrong.
quickly explain it for you guys, just so you kind
Go
of
on.
understand what's going on.
Go.
So, at the end of last season, one of the inmates was killed accidentally by a guard because there was a little mini fight, and the guard just had his knee on her back and he wouldn't let up, and his full weight was on this girl's body and suffocated her basically and killed her. So, all the they basically treat the woman who died with no respect whatsoever. So all the women basically riot because of that. Well, and that amongst other things, because the conditions in the prison were terrible. They were getting searched randomly.
Overpopulated as
Yeah,
well.
overpopulated. The food was shit and all sorts.
They're also getting searched randomly because they're ex-military guys and
Yeah.
they're just not used to that kind
the
of
guards
stuff.
weren't trained as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was happening. So then they basically take the prison hostage and they take all the guards and lock them up and put them in portaloos that stink and all sorts of stuff like that. And they're basically like trying to get their they're trying to. They have demands basically like we want to make the prison better. We want this to happen. We want this to happen. We want the guy who killed the prisoner, the guy who killed the prisoner, he doesn't go to prison or anything because it was an accident and whatever. And they want him to go to prison and stuff like that. So they're debating that throughout the whole, trying to get
the irony. They were in prison.
Trying to get their demands met throughout the whole series.
That was another thing because like they were like at points like trying to make themselves seem like they were innocent in all of it, and like they are like prisoners. So like there's always the two sides to a coin. Like yeah, your conditions are bad, but then should you be given more luxuries because you're a prisoner? But then the other side of the coin, you still do have your human rights when you're in prison. So
yeah, but I mean, I guess as much luxury they could have, it's more about taking away their freedom, isn't it? So it's like they're just in a routine and they live in a 4x2 or something.
I think they just wanted like basic human rights, and I think they weren't, because the prison was privately owned. They weren't getting that. So like, whereas if it's run by the state, they have to adhere to certain rules and certain conditions. But they weren't getting that. So yeah, they were all pissed off about that. There's a woman, the woman who plays Tasty in it. I thought was really, really good in this season. She had a very different range of acting. So like, she sometimes be really serious, sometimes be upset, sometimes be angry, sometimes be happy. And she did.
Tasty. She was on negotiating it, wasn't she? She annoyed me at parts though. There was parts where she was just like, not thinking of herself, but she wasn't really thinking of others, and she was very not narrow-minded, but she was very tunnel-visioned on what to do. She wasn't really having outside. Like, she has a mate in there who has mental health issues, and she wasn't helping her. She was so tunnel-visioned on doing this negotiation, that's the one, that she kind of just neglected her friend, and then when someone else tried to take over and help, it didn't work, and in a way, you kind of see like people's like morals go out the window just because they're trying to get something else done, and that obviously is their morals still, but it's just breaking them down a bit, and it's kind of shows the deterioration.
Is there actually a main character in the Orange?
There was. There's not really anymore.
It was based on.
Am I right in thinking that whoever the main character was, that their sentence is almost up?
Yeah.
Right.
Although.
Yeah, but now
we assume that everyone's going to get like a fair few years added on.
Yeah, because no one. So they were going to get amnesty from the whole riot or whatever, but they'd agreed to like every demand apart from one, and that was getting the officer who killed the prisoner to go to court and stuff like that, because they don't have the power to do that. Yeah. And so the woman, Tasty, the woman who was negotiating, was like, "No, we don't want 9 out of 10 demands. We want all 10." And she was like, basically, like, go away and come back when you give us all the demands. And while she did that, another prisoner let all of the hostages go, so they had no leverage whatsoever.
Oh, shit,
so basically, they were like, "You're fucked now. Like, no one's getting amnesty. We've got what we want. Like, you guys are done."
Also showed that. So when he was saying about Piscatarian or whatever,
Piscatella,
yeah. He basically.
Isn't that a subtitle?
Yeah. He basically. You saw that this riot people came in, and like you see that there's one arsehole guy, and then there's the others who have got their moral code. Like, right, we're not meant to be hurting these people. We're just putting them down, not putting them down, but like taking them down, taking them out. And one of them was like, well, no, you can beat them up a little bit, you can rough them up a bit. And like, there's this one girl who always gets a nosebleed from whatever happens, and she gets like punched in the face, and they all just stand there and they're like, okay, well, she didn't deserve it, but she got punched. And then there's the same guy who punches the girl. He's very young and naive to it all, and he doesn't know how to use his weapon, because your weapon, you're meant to shoot up in the roof, and it all spreads down and hurts their eyes. And he was actually ready to shoot her in the face or the chest, and that will kill her. And at the same time, he's the one who killed what's his face that I just said, because he does shoot up, but he doesn't shoot up enough, and he shoots him straight in the face because he's quite a tall bloke. So it shows there's all these different things that they're bringing. And another thing of it all is that people do die in this, and quite brutal actually. Like, there's a guy who's ex-army guy. He was a bit of an arsehole. He brought in the gun. He was a major arsehole. He brought in the gun that started this whole fiasco in the first place, and basically he's injured. They take him because he's been shot. They take him to the doctor bit. And one of the other nutter girls, who's in the doctor's bit as well, puts oxygen into his tube where he's getting the lick. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a stroke.
Alright.
And instead of helping him, they just kind of leave him, and he just kind of deteriorates and
he
dies.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so that's another thing. And then I think the most sad part about it, not the most sad, no. That's no. There's a bit at the end where everyone bar this, in brackets, 10 people are out the building. Don't know what happened to don't know what they counted the other 2 for. Everyone's like sitting outside and they're all lined up, and they're all being taken off into different buses to go to different prisons. And you're like, oh wow, okay. Right, what's going to happen here? They all going to come back or what? And the 2 girls in it who are like proper like beauty people,
Continue saying, but I've got
they're girls who like obviously they've done something wrong, and they kind of do care but don't care, and they're friends, and they've made a friendship in this like last 5-10 years, and they get split off. And they're like, oh no, and like, I just let them be together, man. But then I suppose it is a prison, so they've got to be separated, and it's just like, it's kind of heartbreaking in a way, because they're like such good friends. And all they've been doing the whole time of this whole thing is they've had a phone, and they've been making YouTube videos this whole time.
10,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
But I've got a quick thing to say about that. I've got 2 things to say actually. One thing is, I don't know if you noticed it, but so like I think the first episode, maybe the first 2 episodes, when they were talking about someone being shot, and it was going around the prison, and they were kind of saying that the guard actually shot one of the inmates. And when the other guards and everyone else was talking about it, like to other people, they were saying, I heard Humphreys is the name of the guard. I heard Humphreys went all, and then they would give an example of a shooting in like American history, so like Columbine or that's only what I can think of at the minute. But they gave like loads of different examples of like people just like going to random places and killing people, just shooting, and they literally did it about 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And I was thinking like, that's like, I don't know if it was intentional, but I think they were kind of trying to highlight how much that happens in America.
Yeah.
Just people like randomly going into,
Anywhere.
and killing innocent people. I thought that was quite I don't know, poignant maybe is the word. But the other point I was going to make, so after I finished watching season 5, I started rewatching season 1. Firstly, season 1 is so much better than
every other season,
man. It's so much better.
It's so sick,
and
man.
It's so weird seeing how different some of the characters are. Like, so, the 2 girls, Flacca and Maritza, I think they're both. They're both very like in the first episode. They're both very like hard and like gangster sort of thing. And it's so weird to see like you're going to be so different in maybe 2 years time. I don't know what the span is over the 5 years, but it's so weird like seeing how everyone was different.
Especially the main character as well. She's changed.
So different. One last thing I wanted to say is, it really actually, I'm not going to say it scared me, but when I was watching it, I was like, fucking hell. When, I swore again, God's sake. When,
you got foul mouth, man.
Blasphemous as well, mate.
When,
blasphemous as well, mate.
Yeah. When Crazy Eyes was off her meds and she was like ripping up the scene and trying to get to heaven. And I was like shit. Like she acted that scene really. I was like, fucking hell, man.
She's a really good actress.
Yeah, she's such a good actress. Like, and she was like she was like going mental because she hadn't had her medicine.
I thought the woman who's like, she now Jewish.
Black Cindy.
Yeah, she's jokes.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, and she says like stuff quite to the point, and like to see her, she was acting really well. To see her like so like, oh wow, okay, this is really happening. What do I do? Kind of thing was really hit home as well. So. There are really good points about this series. It's not one of the best, but I think it's one of the better ones for me.
That's fair.
Because one of them was rubbish.
Season 3.
Oh my gosh.
Season 3 was really bad.
But every series, I'm sure, has a bad series, so that's hopefully their only one.
Yeah.
And you're right, it's not really about the main character anymore. It is based on her, I think, in real life as well.
Yeah.
The first season, at least, anyway.
Yeah.
Can't remember her name, but
Piper.
That's right.
Okay, so we'll try and move on something a little bit more comedic. So Ollie, New Girl.
Yeah. So I watched season 3 to the end.
Spud.
Don't
go one more season, you know.
Huh?
Don't go one more. Season.
Final season, and it's like a jump into the future.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're not going to follow it on. They're going to be
really?
like in 3 years' time.
Oh, okay. That'll be alright, but then they're not going to be. I'm imagining they're not going to be all living in the loft anymore.
No, man.
Thingy's
CC and Schmidt.
They already
got their house.
Yeah, are they having a thingy?
Yeah.
That's spoilers, guys.
Oh yeah, spoilers. Yeah.
Put that in run of time.
They're having a baby.
Having a baby. Yeah, man. So I don't know why I rewatched it. I think you were talking about it last week or the week before. I just wanted to get back into it. So I started season 3 because season 2 ended on Cece's failed first marriage. And so I just wanted to see how the story progressed. And I think Schmidt and Cece have the best love hate relationship in like a lot of TV series that I've seen. I just find it so amusing. But whenever I watch New Girl, all I think about is, my God, they live in the sickest flat.
I love that game they play. I don't know that True American.
True American.
I don't know any of the rules, but it looks sick.
Yeah, man.
That game.
We gotta have one. True Brit. True Brit.
But yeah, no, I just like.
And they finally got rid of Coach. Yes,
No, I liked
Him,
Coach.
man.
I liked Coach.
Do either of you guys watch it?
Yeah, when they brought back Coach, I didn't think it was as good.
Whatever. But no, New Girl's just one of them shows where like you just watch it and you're just like, this is so stupid, but I find
It's
it so funny.
so stupid. I was watching some of the behind the scenes and like bloopers and that, and I can't believe that people actually write the lines that they have to, like some of the shit that Winston comes out with.
Yeah.
I'm like, someone actually wrote it.
Winston and Nick.
Yeah, like genuinely, you can watch it and be like, this is all improv.
Yeah.
And there's like a couple of scenes per episode where they like have a deep, meaningful conversation, and you're like, okay, this is definitely scripted. But it's all scripted, and it's all fucking bullshit that just comes out of their mouth that you just think is like, anyone could have written this.
Yeah, it's so funny. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that's it. So
yeah.
season 6 is over. Season 6 is over. I don't know when season 7's out.
Probably sometime this year.
Wait, how many? New Girl, season 6?
Yeah.
Oh, blimey.
No, new season 7.
Yeah, season 7 will be the next one.
Yeah. But I mean, it's kind of annoying because as soon as there was a really happy cliffhanger or a happy ending, pretty much. So I was like looking around. I was like, oh my God, where's season 7?
Yeah.
And I was like, season 7's cancelled. I was like, no, like screaming at my laptop.
Yeah.
But it's out. I don't know when. Don't know when, man.
Okay.
I think you are like Nick, though.
Me?
You are Nick, pretty much.
Why'd you say that?
Because he's so lazy. It's unbelievable.
Fuck! No, that's not fair. I mean, I don't take...
Out of everyone in the flat, you are
Look,
Nick.
I like Nick, so I don't.
No, I
don't
like
mind
Nick.
you
He's
saying-
funny.
But
He's
you say
hilarious,
that I'm
but
Nick.
he's just a slob.
You say that I'm Nick because I'm lazy. That's not fair. Ouch, man. That's harsh.
Who do you think you're most like in the
I
flat?
don't think I'm like any of them. I don't think I'm like any of them. No, I'm not like any of them. You're like I don't even know what you're like. You're like Winston. You're like Winston.
No, I'm
And
not.
then you're like kind of mixed with Schmidt as well. No,
Okay,
actually
no,
not. I'll say
no,
Chris
no,
is
no.
quite Schmitty.
Chris is Schmitty.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we also
Chris
find
is
out.
Schmitty.
I actually really love this episode. We find out that Schmidt's real name was actually Winston. His first name was Winston, so him and Winston are like fighting for the name Winston.
Winston.
And they're like wrestling, and it's like the most pathetic
And it's
fight
like,
you've ever
call me
seen.
the bish.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so stupid. It's so dumb.
Stupid. That's like you and me, mate. Obi and OB.
Yeah, man.
So Obi's name, my initials,
OB,
isn't it?
yeah.
You stole that from me.
It's not even stealing from you. It's my name, and I was born first, so fuck you. Anyway,
He's got you there.
But yeah.
right, we'll move on. Last couple, Rick and Morty. What you got to say? What you got to say
That
about
is jokes.
Yeah?
It is funny. It is confusing.
Tripping balls.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. It's about Rick, who's the granddad, Morty, who's the kid.
Yeah.
Morty's a bit clueless, Rick's insanely clever, but deep down depressed and needs help.
It's pretty much like the Family Guy multi-universe episodes. It's pretty much
Yeah,
that, isn't it?
yeah.
And they just like get in trouble, don't they?
It's madness. Like, there's so many episodes of like bonkers stuff, and like ends on a cliffhanger. And I can't wait for season 3. Basically,
It's fucking hilarious.
yeah. Have you
Is it
seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
I
so
watched
jokes,
it more.
mate.
It's
It's
Is it like
fucking
adult
jokes.
or is it?
adult
Yeah.
humour,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely, most definitely.
And it's kind of a rip off of, well, not a rip off, but an extension of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
yeah.
Doc and Marty.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got Doc and Marty and Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
But then you got like the family background as well.
Yeah.
Like you got all the idiot family, man. It's so stupid, but
It's
it's,
just
so
off the
fun.
wall.
Yeah.
It's completely
And like
random.
you have all these universes of Rick and Morty, and like there's a Rick like committee, and they're like, and this Rick is like the most mental Rick because they all hone on him. When anything happens, he's like the one to blame, and they're like, you did this, and he's like, no, I didn't, kind of thing. But yeah, it's so jokes. It's definitely easy one to watch, quick episodes, not that many episodes either.
Literally, it's something you can bang on if you're bored and
Yeah.
have nothing.
Yeah.
And
Right
season
on.
3's out
Would
soon.
it
It's
go
on
out
Netflix.
on?
Yeah.
Would it go out on your top, like one of your top animated TV shows?
No.
It wouldn't. But you just really enjoy it.
Yeah.
For comedy wise, yeah, it's one of
Yeah.
one of the better ones. but
There's
in
so many.
total, no.
There's so many in-depth anime cartoons where, like,
Like television series.
yeah, there's so many
Not
good
one-offs.
ones. No, a lot that it's quite. It's a different genre because like, a lot of anime doesn't usually go to a second series purely because there's not enough backing behind it. Like, there's not enough
Not a lot of
viewership.
people watch it.
However, Rick and Morty, on the other hand, probably does get a lot of backing because one, it's on Netflix, and two, it's an American TV series rather than anime, which is more Japanese. So yeah, it's good. It's a good one. Definitely up there
Worth
in the
a watch.
American TV shows.
Worth a watch, definitely.
Yeah,
Is there anything like that you sort of like could compare it to in terms of like?
it's almost like a more comical and basic Futurama-y kind of
Okay.
TV series because they go to other planets, they go to other universes. You got not demonic, demented like old man who is a genius and just doesn't care about life, and then you got this naive kid who's really stupid who just loves his granddad and wants to go on these adventures.
Boom, you just put it into
It's basically
Yeah.
a mix of
Sentence.
everything.
smashed it.
Yeah,
Everything
it's
in
sick.
one
Like, it
thing.
is sick.
Cool.
Yeah.
So OBS to watch it now.
I might,
As a host, you've got to represent, mate.
I might give it a go.
Pull your finger
I
out.
might give it a go. I'll try. I'll add it to my list. My list
This
is
list is
like,
long.
my list is like.
You're like Captain America with his little book, mate, and he's like writing that list. Yeah.
Alright, so we're winding down to the end. Chris, talk to us about Orphan Black.
Right, so there's 5 series, Orphan Black on Netflix. I've only got through. I'm on season 3, episode 8. It's about. So basically, it starts off where this woman gets to a train station platform. She sees herself, and the person she sees takes off her shoes, drops her bag, and jumps in front of a train. And you're like, what the hell's just happened? And you find out this woman, she looks exactly like her, and she has no idea who she is. And the season unfolds that she's part of this group of clones. And there's loads of them. There's I think there's 4 main ones. I cannot for the life of me remember their names. You know me, terrible with names. One's got dreadlocks. One's like a mum with like, she's got adopted kids. Then you got this one who's she's been adopted and she's like, nothing's going right for her, but she actually has a child. And then you've got I think there's a 4th one. Oh yeah, there's an absolute lunatic nutter one who wants to kill him. And it comes together where they're just trying to figure it all out, really. Like, why are they clones? Who chose them? How many of them are there? What's the bigger picture?
Right.
And the backstory to the first season is that the clone who died, she was a cop, and this other one takes her place, and then her cop mate kind of figures it out, unravels it a bit, tries to oust her, then realises it's a whole bigger thing and tries to help her.
Right.
And it's just like a massive story about how they're trying to just find the origins of the clones, really. And yeah, it's pretty good.
Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Like, there's loads of them though. There's loads of clones, and sometimes it's a bit like who's who, because sometimes they dress up as each other, and it's just like,
So why is it called Orphan Black?
because they're all orphans, I think. But I don't know why it's got that name. I should probably look into why it's got that name. But yeah, it's not a bad shout actually. I'll look into that and I'll find out for next week, and hopefully by next week I'll be up to date, because it's currently, I don't know if Netflix are doing it. 'Cause Netflix have started to do weekly episodes. So I don't know if it's a weekly episode thing or if it's throwing it all out there. 13 episodes.
What season is it on now?
5. So I'm nearly there, but not quite there. But yeah,
Okay.
it's interesting. I'll definitely recommend it if you can bear
So
with it.
what, you watched the 5 seasons in
No, I've only-
2 days?
I've watched I've watched 3 seasons, nearly 3 seasons in about 2 weeks.
No.
It's one of those ones where
Slow, mate.
I know.
It's not like you.
I know there's other things to watch, mate. It's one of the background ones, really. But yeah, it's good. Definitely one to watch.
Okay. So, has anyone else got anything else they want to talk about quickly? Anyone?
Any more news?
Any other business?
business?
No?
Business.
No. Alright, Chris, can you give us your From the Archive, please?
Cool. I don't think.
We need to sort out a theme tune for the
Come on, Ollie. Where's your piano
Get it.
skills, mate?
Get
No,
on it,
I
mate.
said I'm not that good. I know,
Yeah,
like,
you're supposed to be learning. Oh.
it'll just be like 2 bing bing. That's it.
Yeah, that's what we
Hey,
need.
done.
That's all we
That's
need.
a doorbell. We can just record Chris's doorbell and that would be it. Boom. Idea.
Done.
Idea. Write it down. Potfire's idea.
Alright, come on, Chris.
So I don't think we've spoken about this before. Apologies to any viewers if we have, but Bruce Almighty is going to be my one for the archives.
Okay.
About a guy who nothing's really going right for him. He wants to become a news anchor. All of a sudden, he meets God, and God gives him God's powers because he says that God isn't doing it right. You don't really know if God's still in the background doing anything because it's not really explained, but you assume he's not because literally Bruce just does whatever he wants, and then he soon realises it's a lot harder to be God than his prayers are wishing for. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he like gets a computer and he just says yes to everyone's prayers, and then like, riots happen because millions of people win the lottery and they only get like £1 each, and it's like mental. And he realises he's ruining Evan's life just to better his own life, and he's ruining his love life because he's just so focused on doing everything else but his own life. And I think he kind of soon realises that his life wasn't actually as bad as he made it out to be. I think he's just like every other, not Joe. Not the saying every Joe, but he's like every Eric. Like life's going alright, but you think it's not going as well as it is, and you kind of just got to live with it and make it better for yourself rather than wishful thinking.
It's like a bit of perspective.
Yeah, exactly. And then eventually it all unravels and he realises everything. And yeah, a really good film. Definitely one that I'd watch over and over again.
I think that has one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen.
Is that the monkey in the butt?
No.
Oh.
When he's
doing a little voice bit when Evan's talking.
yeah,
it's
when
like,
Evan's talking, he's doing what Evan does basically.
Do you remember? Have you seen it?
I've seen it, but I
Yeah,
don't remember.
he's talking about when Bruce is on the side, like just typing and just doing
Yeah.
noises, and Evan's just mimicking him because obviously
Evan's
he's got
doing the news,
yeah.
and he's typing stuff on the teleprompter, and he's making noises which
He's like
yeah.
Do you know it?
Rewatch it.
There you go. One from the
hilarious.
archives, guys.
Yeah.
Watch it,
Rewatch
relive it,
And it's
love
classic
it.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Carrey, MIA.
He hasn't done that for a while, has he? But although he's in a bit of a not great place at the moment because he's been accused of.
Yes.
Let's not talk about
certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything we're going to be watching this coming week? I think we're going to watch All Eyes on Me because we got the date wrong. I thought it was coming out 2 weeks ago. But it's coming out
If I've got time, because I'm going to start
When's it out?
revising, I'll try.
on Friday, I believe.
Yes.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, I'm here. I
30th.
am here. If I got time, I'll try and watch Churchill, but I do need to do a bit of a revision.
But I'm looking forward to it.
I wanted to watch King Arthur, but that has not stayed in the cinema very long,
No.
and it's not in the cinema. at
Well,
all
Is it
anymore.
out of the cinema now?
No, it's it.
When it comes out on like, we'll watch
Telly.
it. Yeah, we'll watch it. But
I've seen years, mate. This
Yeah.
podcast might be not run. Might not be running anymore.
Did any of you watch Power?
yeah,
No.
So-
I'm not up to date though.
Are you
but
not?
it's- No,
Okay.
go. You can say it. Go on.
No, I'm not going to say anything, but I'm saying like the new series 4, I think, started today. So it'll be on Netflix tomorrow. So I want to watch that.
Mate, I need
I'm looking
to.
forward watching
I'll start watching that
it.
again, mate.
Power's
That's-
sick.
I just kind of stopped, and then I was like, I haven't really picked up again. It's like that murder one, How to Get Away with Murder.
Oh yeah.
I'm like halfway through season 2.
Mhm.
It's like season 3.
Season 3 now, yeah.
Same with 100. There's loads. In it.
I need to finish.
Preacher season 2's just come out as well.
So much TV, so little time. Need to
Yeah.
quit my job.
You could become a professional TV watcher, like
Well, to be
Have a
fair,
goggle box.
Obi,
pretty much, yeah. Like do like a PewDiePie and have just a camera watching you, so like people can be watching the telly and your reaction. I'd
You just
watch
got to give it a bit more shock factor. Like when something I was like,
Yeah, I'd watch you laughing.
you just got to put more effort into this
Wow.
and get it going.
Wow. I'm doing as much as I can, Joe.
Host every week, mate.
You're
Come on.
dead
that's
weight,
it.
mate. But yeah, I like it. Man, I like your thinking. Host every week, Glenn. You heard it. You heard it here first. I feel like the people know what they want.
People have
And,
spoken.
I would say let's get Joe to host, but
He might turn up.
yeah,
Fuck you guys.
we'd have one a month.
Oh.
Might have more content. Might be longer. I don't know.
Okay. Thank you for joining
What?
us.
No, whoa.
Oh my goodness, I was preempting the end. Okay,
Sorry,
Chris.
matey. Sorry.
Go ahead, Chris.
This is the question I should have asked last week. Apologies if I've asked it before. You know my memory, not so great. If you could see a TV series, or if, I've definitely said this.
I was going to say, if you asked the same question
No,
again.
from wait, is this the wrong one? I think it's the wrong one. From another person's perspective.
No, yeah, you said that last week,
Yeah.
and we were supposed to think of TV series to answer the
definitely-
question for this week's
Oh,
podcast.
wow.
which none of us have done.
No,
What are you?
no, yeah. If you could see a TV series or film from another person's point of view, who would you like to see it from?
You've asked that before.
Have I?
Yeah. I'm not sure if we answered it.
No, we didn't answer. We didn't answer.
I
Yeah.
think he asked it last week.
I'm pretty sure I gave an
like,
answer, but I can't
I
remember
don't
what
get the
answer was.
question. What do you mean?
If you could see a film or TV show, so like say you got a main character Walter White, would you
Yeah.
want to see it from Aaron Paul's perspective, from Jesse Pinkham's
Oh,
Or like
I
Better
see
Call
what you
Saul.
mean.
perspective? Yeah.
I
Exactly.
see what you mean.
I'm not great with all these questions, mate. There's too many things to ask. I don't know.
Who would you? Don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
If okay.
Ramsey Bolton.
Okay.
Spin off.
I mean, that'd be pretty interesting. I mean, pretty messed up as well. That'd be like Hannibal,
Crazy.
really.
Well, he might just be a normal little kid, and then he just knocks his head,
Mhm.
and he's like,
It'd be cool seeing it from seeing Game of Thrones from Littlefinger's perspective, just because he's so like conniving and calculating.
Be nice to see how he. Well, not nice, but interesting to see how he got the way he is. As well. But
What about you for Orange Is the New Black? Any of those characters interesting that you'd like to see? Their prequel.
They always
their
show-
story?
they
kind
show
of
their
give-
story,
they give
though.
backgrounds to a lot.
Oh, really?
To a lot
Yeah.
of people, yeah, different episodes, different backgrounds.
And then they've done a few they've done a few multiple times. They've shown
Yeah.
a few different parts of it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But I'm trying to think of a good answer to that question.
See, I need to write down all the questions I asked because I feel like I was going to ask another one and say if there was any film that you could reboot, which film would you want to reboot and why?
I think you've asked that as
You've
well.
asked
Yeah,
that.
but see, this is what I mean. My question's so good that I need to ask them twice.
Oh, to be fair, you ask questions and we don't answer them, and then you come back to them next week.
I think that's why I get kind of like, oh, have I asked this before? So I feel like I haven't given.
So we should shout that out to the listeners. What was the question again? If you can.
If you could see a
watch
TV
it-
or film from someone else's perspective apart from the main character,
There you go.
what film would you like to see?
Nice.
Because Chris
Cool.
can't remember.
Let us know.
Let us know. Tweet us at YAC Podcast 17 on Twitter. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Your Average Critics.
And if you've got any questions that I haven't asked that you want us to answer, please.
Please let us know.
Yeah.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, leave some reviews. Get interactive. We appreciate everything.
Memes, anything.
What-
Any sort of trolling.
Right,
you know?
trolling.
Watch Hot Rod for Ollie. Watch Hot Rod for Ollie.
Yeah, don't
Obi's not going to do it.
Yeah.
That's just...
don't troll me too hard because I will 1v1 you on Rust. See where Frederick's gone? You'll go there too.
Okay. We'll catch you on episode 20, or hopefully Glenn will be back. And I don't know if Joe will be here. Probably not, because he likes to do disappearing act. But yeah, we'll see you later.
In a bit, guys.